Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Curse of Strahd. Today is our session 2, Death or the Devil by Many Names. You might notice some interesting changes. The first being that we are on a fancy new animated map. And this map is made by Beneos Battle Maps. I was doing some research, saw him, subscribed to his Patreon, and we're going to have access to a lot of really cool, really detailed maps available courtesy of that individual's Patreon. And we're going to be using him so much that I've even put a little credit down in the bottom center of the screen for you all, because I think it's going to be really cool. Remind me, who took notes last time? Awesome. No worries. We all get puppy problems every now and again. I took the liberty of looking at the notes that you've made, Squid, and they are very well detailed, and it is something that I greatly appreciate. Oh.
Yeah.
I had misclicked, and y'all were a little bit muted. But now you're good. Thank you, Diggs, for pointing that out. I thought I had unmuted you, but it turns out I did not.
All right. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it reads like a book, and we'll be here a while.
But yeah, just a good summary, please.
All right, we finished up the fight with the wolves, kind of. We I wouldn't say we had the upper hand when we had left the fight, but we started realizing that the tenuous balance we had started to slip away as more wolves started to show up. The largest wolf seemed to be regenerating wounds. It wasn't the damage that Callahan was doing to it, though devastating, was starting to heal up, or at the very least wasn't bothering it nearly as much as we thought it would. Any progress we were making was quickly being dashed because of the fact that more wolves were showing up, seemingly out of nowhere. The largest wolf, in fact, started blasting wind or some kind of energy towards us, and knocking us toward the gate. We decided that discretion is a better part of valor, and ran through the gate and closed it behind us. We had some shenanigans with Hawthorne turning into an elk, and helping drag the rest of us out.
How fucking dare you?
What?
Calling me an elf?
Elk.
Jeez.
You turned into an elk.
Do you want to start trouble with your only healer? I don't think so. Buddy.
Sauce made a bone arm guard of the highest crafts lizard ship to commemorate the poor horse dying. We walked down the path and we saw a village. Found out that it was called Barovia. Inside the village, it was actually kind of spooky because no one was really hanging out. Even though it was supposedly middle of the day, we saw the sun, although it looked like it was more muted than usual. There were a lot of clouds, a lot of fog. It was mid-afternoon, but it was about as dark as if it were twilight. Walked down the middle of the street. We found a black horse that seemed to be, I couldn't remember if it was just smoking or on fire. No, it was black and flaming. Thorn magically spoke to it. It claimed that it told him that our master was waiting for us inside. We asked it some more questions. It refused to elaborate. Inside the tavern, there was but a single person, tall, pale man, wearing glamorous clothing. Well, wonderful clothing. What's the word am I looking for? Grandiose clothing. Identified himself as Count Strahd von Sadovich. Asked us to sit down and eat. Basically said that's a good idea because if this is Strahd, we're not getting out of here alive anyway. Let's see here if I remember right. Who was basically mocking him, trying to get us eaten?
Fenrin.
Yeah, Fenrin was kind of sort of saying, "Yeah, we shouldn't be scared of you," and he laughed at first, but then basically threatened us to take him seriously or else. Said that As long as we keep our noses clean, we don't have too much to worry from him, except for he wanted to know why we're here. Of course, we didn't tell him about the bag. I don't recall who basically said, "Oh, we just showed up because of the letter from the Burgermeister," and he said, "Well, he killed him," and I don't believe you, not fully. After that, he brought Callahan outside, spoke with him for a few minutes. Callahan came back in looking quite shaken and said he returned the horse to him that had killed in the last session, but the horse was now a zombie.
Speaking
After
of
that,
Callahan,
we decided to go to bed.
yeah, Shy Guy is going to be running a little late. He should be here in the next 30 minutes or so. And his new zombie horse, I had the time to give him some proper new features, so we might be able to explore that sometime in the near future. Also, just a small correction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I got something wrong, please.
Yeah, Strahd did not say that he killed the Burgermeister.
Oh, sorry. You're right. He just said that he was killed.
Yeah, he was killed. He had a heart attack.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So,
I will double check. If my notes say that he killed him, which I don't think it did, I will amend those.
you all are getting settled in here at the Blood of the Vine Tavern. And I'm going to take you to a very nice looking little battle map.
Oh no.
This is the village of Barovia.
Oh, okay. It's not a combat.
No, not yet. We certainly could have combat on this battle map. And in fact, there are many battle maps which I may or may not use just for scenery. And you'll only know when I ask you to roll initiative. And I'm sure that you all appreciate that quite a lot.
Yes. Yes, I do. I do love some surprises.
So this is the village of Barovia. Now that Strahd has left and you all are settling in for the night, you can look at the windows and see generally the sort of layout of the city, the little city. And as the rain pitters against the windows, you all sort of settle in. I know Fenrin last time had a short conversation with Quintro. They will be sharing one room, and I believe everyone else is sharing another room. So,
Unless it makes sense otherwise.
I guess so.
What was the inn called?
the inn is called the Blood on the Vine Tavern. It is a 5-story monstrosity of creaking wood and bad decisions.
That doesn't sound very stable.
It doesn't, and in fact, it creaks in the wind quite frequently.
As someone that is graduated in architecture, this thing gives me shivers. Not for the reasons you expect.
I kind of want to know what your architecture brain thinks of this place.
There's a lot of overhang stores, which is common in medieval houses, but they usually have a little bit of overhanging. There's like 3-4 stores of overhanging places without proper support in this image. I want the room that's closest to the floor, if possible.
I imagine that if you knock the posts out, it would just tip forward.
Yes. Oh yeah, those posts are right on the bottom. It'll just slough off. Yeah, you think that that's probably true.
Those posts are buff.
You
Yeah.
do remember
Thing
when
in
coming
dear
in that
life.
those posts were quite rotted. You weren't able to quite check and see if they had termites in them, but you really wouldn't be surprised.
Who's the
Oh.
fattest person in the party?
I think,
Sauce.
yeah, just by the merit of being a giant lizard man, Sosk would be the.
Seven and a half
Sauce.
people.
Can you stay on the lower floors with me?
Sauce.
I don't think so.
bed.
Yeah.
The inside of the building towards the middle.
So I'm gonna make an executive decision here, simply for my own personal convenience and sanity, and say that your character is not as well versed on architecture as
I'm
you
just
are.
bullshitting.
Um,
I'm just inviting him because he's my friend.
no
The
worries.
player is making fun of this.
We're gonna come into the 4th floor of this place.
Oh, and one other thing. Who wants to do notes this time around?
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
doing
thank you.
notes.
All right. Starmute will do notes. Mark inspiration on your character sheet. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I was going to offer.
Oh, yeah. I would like to extend to you the ability to, since you said that you'd wanted to last week, if you feel comfortable doing it.
If you want to, you can take over from what I only wrote a little bit.
Or you could just roll for it.
Up to you guys.
What do you want to do, Corvo?
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 Corvo.
He just said in the chat that a transistor exploded outside.
Or a transformer, probably.
Yeah.
I do not see. Oh, you mean our Discord
Yeah.
chat?
Yeah.
No,
Interesting.
transformer just exploded.
I've had those happen close to me, and they're scary.
Wonder if it was a Autobot or a Decepticon.
Dude.
Ball.
Well, that kind of throws a wrench in things a little bit. I'll say that Starmute is gonna take record of the journal, and I'm very thankful that the start of this session is going to be something that doesn't require everybody exactly to be here.
Well, that also takes care of that.
Oh, there he goes. All right. So, you all settle in for the night. Quintero and Fenrin, you have your conversation, and then you settle into these beds, which are not very clean, riddled, in fact, with bed bugs.
I'll fix that problem in our room.
Yeah, the bards have already solved for this problem with a funny little thing called prestidigitation. And the rest
Although
of
for
you,
the I
go
don't
ahead.
properly sleep. I just do a little 4-hour meditation trance, so I don't even really need the bed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but you probably want to sit on the bed while you do it.
Yeah, Strahd just exploded the transistor outside of my house.
I'm all right. So I'm guessing that means that you are without a proper display. Is that the case?
Yeah, but my power is back on. It might fall down back again because it'll probably be a bit unstable for a while. But
I would imagine
I
if something
doubt it.
exploded outside of your domicile.
Yeah, I just heard an explosion. I saw a flash and my power went out.
That's
That
happened
that's
to me a few years ago.
horrifying.
I've had that happen. It's terrifying.
I've been within 100 feet of those things when they've been hit or blown up. It is loud and bright.
I am surprised that you have power again.
Yeah, this sometimes happens when it rains too much. But I'm back. My power might go out again because it'll be a bit unstable for a while, but I'm turning my PC back on.
All right, we'll see you in a couple minutes. We're gonna start off with some individual sequences, so you should be fine to just join back whenever you need or whenever you can.
Okay, worst case scenario, I'll just ask people to roll stuff for me.
Since we're in a kind of like out of character moment, I see in the chat that somebody's asking where people live that transformers just detonate like that.
Oh, Brazil.
Brazil.
This happens sometimes.
Brazil. Explore Brazil.
Well, don't.
Oh,
I don't suggest it, but it's fine.
He's like, I live there. I don't explore it.
Well, I do, but I have 31 years of experience in Jumanji, basically.
That's really good. All right, back to the
Well,
game.
I'm getting back to it.
All right,
Okay.
Quintro.
Yes.
After a while of sleeping in this kind of half-rotted hay, you find darkness overtaking you, and you fall into a deep slumber. You find yourself on a battlefield. Very similar battlefield, in fact, perhaps the exact same as the one from quite a while ago, where you were grievously injured. You stare down at yourself, and you see those old injuries open, bloody. In most dreams, you wouldn't feel pain. But in this one, all of that familiar pain, the things that you tried to repress for years, comes back. And you find yourself unable to move.
Ah.
A crow lands nearby. With its glassy, beady eyes, it starts to hobble its way towards you.
I'm not dead yet, you.
Crow looks at you, tilts its head back and forth, hobbles a little closer. If you could move your arms, you'd be able to swat it away. But you
Too busy
can't.
Punching my chest.
It gets a little bit closer. It starts to peck at your belly. And then another crow comes. And another crow comes. And they all begin to start pecking away.
I start screaming at him, get away from me!
A few of them sort of hobble back for half a second, startled by the noise coming from their meal. But more and more show. And they peck away and peck away and peck away. You blink. Suddenly, it's not crows standing over you. It's a man in a crow-like mask. Surgical tools are picking away at your stomach. What a fine specimen. So glad I could work on you. You recognize him.
Ah.
He's the one who stitched you up the first time. This time it's more painful, more callous, cruel. Almost like he's dissecting you.
Hawthorne, you're hitting more nerves than you need to. That's a lot of bone.
He seems to
Is the
ignore
brain,
you.
or should I interact?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he says,
It's evil paralysis demon Hawthorne.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. It says time of death 10 minutes ago. Oh. Only I was here a little sooner. And he takes his surgical implements out of your stomach. And you can see little bits of your meats hanging from the scalpel. So he wipes it away, cleans it, and goes back in, takes it out again in frustration, cleans it again, keeps doing this as more and more little bits of meat from your insides go splattering off to the ground beside you. Then you hear the call of a raven. Not a crow. You have traveled the world enough to know the difference between the two, especially being as acoustically inclined as you
One's
are.
harsher.
Yes, this one, harsher than the rest, breaks out, and you see a flash of blue before you wake up sweating in your bed.
Oh. Put my hand on the scar that's underneath my traveling shirt, the one that I got from the horrid beasts. Is it still? I'm guessing it's still there.
Oh, the scar is still there, and you feel the old wound throbbing.
I look over and I see. Hang on. Excuse me. I look over and see my companion. Is he looking at me, Fenrin?
He's in his trance right now, but he's conscious, but he's not reacting.
Did I oversleep? Did
Speaking
I fall
of,
asleep during my watch?
Fenrin,
Can I, real quick, before you switch over, can I tell if I'd like fallen asleep during my watch or?
yeah,
or-
you'd
I
fallen
mean,
asleep. Whether it
Oh,
was
like-
during your watch or in somebody else's watch, you fell asleep.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So Fenrin, you're sitting in your meditation, and you can't help but find your thoughts drifting off during these, like they are off to do. And you find yourself at a dinner table. You're quite hungry. Set off to the side is a campfire with slabs of meat, greenish tinted meat, cooking in a pot, or well, a pan rather. This scene is something that you're familiar with. You remember something similar, except your friend Sosk was there before, and here he's not. Sitting up against the table, well, rather sticking out from it, is a large carving knife. And on the table is not a set of meats, but an orc lying across it as if it were an operating table. You think to yourself how horribly hungry you are. And you pull the knife out of the table. You slide it across the flesh of this creature and begin to eat raw this flesh that you remember from before. And the taste is much different from how you originally had it. It's much better, juicier, flavorful, as if somebody took the best spices from all around the world and made the perfect combination on top of this meat. Despite the fact that it's raw, it tastes tender, juicy, well cooked. The smell envelops your nostrils.
And Fenrin just enjoys it.
You do, and you eat until you're full. And it's not a problem for you, because this thing isn't even human. It doesn't matter.
You only had another 50 years or so. What's 50 years?
But you happen to glance up towards the rest of the corpse, and you see it staring at you and it says, "Why?" And you blink, and suddenly you're wearing something quite different. You are in a fanciful cloak with a red doublet and a very nice ruby amulet around your neck, flowing black hair. You realize that you've assumed the visage of Strahd, and you look back down at the table and you see a young girl, perhaps 17 years old, in a purple dress, 2 marks out of her neck, purple eyes staring at you. And she says, "Why?" And you taste blood on your lips. And it tastes good. And then you're dozed out of your meditation by Quintro.
Hey, man. Time for your watch. Also, you were kind of twitching there.
Oh,
You can probably see
yeah,
that I'm a little sweaty despite the cold environment, but other than that, I seem fine.
it was strange. Typically, when I meditate, I experience memories of my ancestors, but that was. Ugh. And why are you sweating?
Oh, I had some pretty vivid dreams. I'm not entirely certain it's not this land, to tell you the truth. But I mean, if you're having odd dreams and I'm having odd dreams, I'm wondering if the rest of the crew won't either.
Most unusual. Such things typically wouldn't affect me, but this is a strange place.
You should roll an intelligence check.
Any like arcana or just general intelligence?
Just general intelligence. You,
19.
You feel a sense of dread pucker up against your insides as the connotations of that meditation hit you. You only have dreams of your ancestors. So, and they're all mostly dead and gone. So, why did you dream of Strahd? And more pertinently, why did you dream of yourself?
Yes, that's most curious.
You gonna be okay, or do you need a little more rest?
I feel okay. I think I can. I'll take over.
Sosk,
Alright.
That is I.
you find yourself embraced by the warmth of this rotting hay
Mm,
and collapse into the rhythmic motions of a dream in which you are carving links on a sculpture. The kind of thing that you've always dreamt about making, but never had the tools at the time to make. What is this a sculpture of?
are you asking me?
I
or-
am, yes.
A bone sculpture of the blue scale tribe is going to be made with bone and jade. It's going to describe the end of the Blue Scale tribe and how we were defeated by the Bullywugs and the Froghemoth. It's going to have a depiction of how we were defeated and how we scattered to the wind.
And as you carve the last piece on this sculpture to fully symbolize your thoughts and feelings, you take a look at it overall, and it is truly magnificent. It almost radiates a warmth that you remember feeling sometime long in the past, of the sun against your face. And it boggles you a little bit, because you're almost certain it hasn't been very long since you've last felt the sun. And you look a little closer on this sculpture, just going over the details one more time to make sure that everything is perfect. And you realize that this sculpture, the bone that it's made from, it's coming from your other hand. You look to your left and see that you chiseled a part of your arm into this sculpture. Almost trapped yourself inside of it. And you hear the familiar gurgle from behind you of a bullywug.
I pull out my axe, yet cannot reach it.
Yeah, you go to try to pull out your axe, and it's on the hip of the arm that is trapped to the sculpture. And you turn and look back, and it is not a bullywug that is there, but Strahd. And he says to you, "Only the strong must rule. Yes, only the greatest, the brightest, the fastest will survive. So why are you still alive?" And you look up, and the wind howls around you, bites against your face, and you see your statue slowly drifting away in the wind, as if it was sand and not bone and jade. And before you know it, the top of the statue is completely gone, and then the midriff, and then the legs, and now it's almost to you. It's just your arm and the bottom of the feet that's left as the wind whips closer and closer to you. All the while, Strahd is laughing. Do you do anything?
I resign myself to my death. Such is the will of Simlonia, the lizard god.
You close your eyes, and suddenly the wind stops. And you turn and look, and there is nothing around you. You turn and look, and in fact, everything appears much smaller. And you realize that you are not the lizard attached to the statue anymore. You are the statue. And you look at your feet, find that you cannot move them, and surrounding the base of this statue are piles and piles of refuse. They're disrespecting you. They're treating you as if not only your works, but everything that you represent is meaningless. You can smell it in your nostrils. The stink of refuse.
Disgusting. Not worth eating. I will climb out of this.
You try to move, but you find that you cannot. You feel the refuse continue to pile up as if time is passing, and yet still you cannot move. You feel your scales being slowly eroded away by the wind and the rain and the cold and the flame, but still you cannot move. It seems as if years pass, still smelling, still feeling, unable to do a thing. And you smell the dank, mossy stone of some long forgotten crypt before you wake up.
I remind myself about Sosk is a lizard folk, and I remind myself that the fact that I am part of the chain of life. However, I believe I should inform my companions about this particular situation, as this is a strange dream.
It is indeed. Hawthorne,
Hello.
you
I'm back
find...
with no explosions.
Excellent, no explosions. You find yourself sitting in a hut, a strange little hut, surrounded by fungus and rot. But this feeling is familiar to you. You feel almost at home. And you see someone sitting in an armchair inside of this hut. Someone who's familiar to you. It is, in fact, your mentor.
Ah, I see.
Wearing
And
the mask.
can I ask if I can try to lucid dream? Like, I
Oh,
don't
so
know
you
what
want to
kind of-
you want to try to realize that you're in a dream and then stay in it?
yeah.
I
have
will
no-
allow you to make a roll for this. What skill in particular are you trying to use in order to lucid dream?
Okay. I think a wisdom check would probably make sense, or maybe Arcana. You decide.
I think a flat wisdom check is totally fine.
Okay. Rolling ability check. Let's
Very
see.
good. Yes.
Oh, great.
You realize that you are in fact dreaming, and that this is very likely not your master. But you
Yeah.
feel now that you have some sense of control over this dream. What do you do?
I calm down. I don't panic, and I just let my mind roll with it. With this, I think if this is a dream, it means something that might be important, and I kind of role play the dream, like I pretend that I believe it's just a dream, that it's real.
You hear a voice come out from the figure in the armchair. It looks like your master, but it speaks in a woman's voice, old, grizzled, weathered, decaying even. It sounds and feels like the crunch of wet leaves after a snow melt. What are you doing in this land? You fool.
I'm just living. I'm just going through my journey between birth and death, and then birth and death again.
You think that you exist on the wheel and not in it?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Sorry. She says, you think you exist on the wheel and not in it?
I do not know. I just am.
The
It doesn't
figure
matter.
slumps into the chair and says to you, if that doesn't matter, what does?
Nothing matters. Only what we decide to care about.
And so what do you care about then, youngling? The fire in the hut crackles.
I decided that I want to be better than my captors. I want to take care of my friends and of people. It gives me fulfillment. I hope to someday be able to be the savior that I needed a long time ago to someone else.
You feel the hut around you sort of sag in an almost relaxed way, as if the wood itself was tense from your mere presence, and it breaks away into a bed of foliage intertwined with each other, and you feel yourself falling down into it as it itself depresses into the ground as if the ground was never there. And you find yourself laying in this bed of half-rotted foliage, looking up at the sky and experiencing the woods around you, the dank, musty smells of several beavers heading away in their dam, the frantic chittering of a robin recently having laid its eggs.
Halforn starts laughing, relaxed. If I die, I'll just be back again, And if I die again, I'll just be back again. And if I die again, I'll just be back again. In other form, having other opportunities to do better. I
Suddenly, the
fully
foliage.
accept death in a humorous, even like a daring way. Like
Yeah,
if anything tries to kill me, I just laugh at it. I'll just be back again.
you feel the air around you, the animals that you're feeling with you suddenly develop a deep panic inside of them. A deep, impending doom and dread fills all of the things living around you. And the foliage snaps shut around you, almost like a protective egg, and suddenly those feelings are cut off. And all you can feel is the vestiges, that impending doom, and the brief, fragile comfort of this foliage around you. And you see out from that small thicket an eerie yellow light dancing across the gaps in the leaves. And you hear a voice whisper in your head, that voice that was talking to you earlier, say, "Take heed. Death is not the same here. It will consume you." And before a bright flash from outside of this foliage illuminates the inside of this little cocoon that has been made for you, you wake up.
I probably try like wake up staring at the ceiling. I try to not make too much noise, and I look around at the other guys.
You look around and you see that Sosk appears to be stirring as well, and Callahan also. Before we do anything else, I'd like to give Shy Guy the chance to kind of arrive and give him his dream session. So I think now is going to be the time that we take what we would normally take in about an hour, which is our 10-minute break. And when we return, hopefully Shy Guy will be here and we can continue with him and then continue with the rest of the session. So,
Okey-dokey.
Oh, no problem.
that being said, I hope you all have enjoyed so far. We'll be back with our final horrendous dream very shortly. See you all in about 10 minutes.
All right.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your short rest.
I did.
We find ourselves back in these rooms. Everybody except for Callahan has woken up in a cold sweat from dreams that they've had, except for maybe Hawthorne, but I'll leave that up to him to decide.
Sosk has a warm sweat. No.
Decide what?
Oh, you write a warm sweat because you're cold-blooded. I
Wait.
see.
Okay, fine. Sorry, what should I decide?
Whether or not you wake up sweating. Whether or not
Oh,
the
I
things that you
probably-
saw at the end had shaken your character.
Well, technically, Sosk doesn't sweat, so but
Very
it
true.
does.
That's why
It shivers me a bit, but I try to calm down and not wake up the others.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Sosk eats a
which,
couple bed bugs and tries to settle down a little bit.
Can I try to wake them up?
You could try to wake Sosk up. I would ask that you don't try to wake Callahan up, given that his player is not here.
Oh, okay.
It looks
Go
like
to
Sosk
Sosk.
is awake, though.
Oh, hey buddy, you doing fine? You feeling sick?
Sosk says, "Bad dreams. Going to try and eat bed bugs. Calm down."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had some too. Probably some bad energy in this place. Do you want me to prepare you some tea to calm down?
Eh, I think I'll be okay. Just probably
Alright.
need to eat that wolf some more.
I'll I'll spend some time trying to find bed bugs for Sosk to eat.
Gross.
Well, he likes it.
I will be
I
right
mean,
back.
Lizard folk eat bugs.
Like I know I'll get sick from eating it, but he likes it.
Okay, what do you think we should check on the others?
Yeah, maybe. I can I try to check if there's some sort of spell going on? Like I know the dream was weird.
I think we're going to uh just
We are spending a lot of time just deciding that.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
asking the GM.
Yeah, I did, but I think he's busy.
Oh, you can always just walk over. I mean, as long
I think we should walk over.
Yep.
Aether,
Right,
you're
I check
muted.
that.
you drag your tokens.
Yeah, I can't see the others. Yeah, I can control my others.
Oh, just walk outside. We're just south of you.
Yeah, but he asked
Also,
us to.
The DM
Oh, there we
appears
go.
muted. I think we should get some input from the DM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I'm waiting. Who knows? Maybe he's hiding a
It's
a
not a
literal demon on the corridor.
well. We can retroact that, but I mean, I know that I had a terrible dream where I was getting picked at by birds. I couldn't move. They picked at my scar. I had
Well, we can
terrible dreams.
always try to not be pecked by birds in your next life.
I mean, I've seen plenty of birds pick at corpses in the battlefield, but they usually leave living people alone. I mean, unless you're really bad off. Do you guys have terrible dreams too?
Yeah, I had a terrible dream. Just fortunately, I reminded myself to that everything is a dream, so I managed to stay half conscious during it.
Oh,
This
I'm
was
glad for
really
that. That's the weirdest thing. Mine actually felt like it hurt. Normally, dreams have like phantom pain, and that's about it.
Phantom
well.
pain.
Reading the chat in Twitch, it says that he's handling some background audio issues.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, I'm here. I've,
Yeah,
I've
let's
just got
just
some
chill
stuff in
for
the
a second,
background
guys.
that's chilling
Probably shouldn't be
around.
moving around and doing stuff without the DM
Oh
present.
yeah, I would not be moving
yeah,
around
just
right
not
now,
really
but
talking to the
you
wall.
guys could
They're
definitely
cracking
go out
walls.
into the Oh,
You're on
haha!
the
I was
walls?
muted on Discord. Yeah, you guys are totally fine to move out into the hallway here and do some role playing, whatever you need to do. I'm just trying to solve some background audio issues on my end.
Well, and I did state before we went to bed that I checked out the upstairs, other than the one room that was barricaded.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's these stairs up here. They go up to. I'll show this really quick.
I mean, you don't have to show the whole thing. I just meant that, like, I knew that there was nobody hiding behind a barrel or something.
Oh yeah, no, you checked this place out pretty thoroughly before you came in here to do stuff. Basically, let me bring you on up here.
I'm not saying there's no one there now. I just meant that before I went to bed, I knew there wasn't anybody in here.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna show you this scene though, because it's kind of cool.
Okay.
Oh wait, I gotta move my thing back here.
Nope, you're good.
No, my own view portal.
Okay. So yeah, up here there's another floor, and then there's this door, and this door right here is barricaded.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Go back here. And we're back. All right.
Okay. Just
Sask
curious.
is going to go outside into the hallway.
Thank you all for being patient with me. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll interject as I need to.
Tech
Well, it's
stuff.
fair. You're dealing with our bullshit, so we
Ooh,
might
it's
as well.
form. I mean, RP wise, I'd be just saying how vivid these dreams are, and this land is getting to us already.
But I'm curious, Quintro.
Hmm.
Did yours seem like something that could come to pass?
Parts of it maybe. Mine mostly seemed like I was reliving the past. It was unpleasant. I mean, other than the birds part, which is
Sask says had bad dream.
He was
Yeah.
You have bad dream?
I can't move my token.
You can't?
Yeah, it says that if I move sideways, I'll collide with at least one wall. Okay, manage that. Oh, okay. Mine was weird. It just said that I was going to die, and then I said, "Yeah,
You gotta go through the door, Corvo.
yeah. I managed that." So, uh, do you guys think it was some sort of spell? Mine was very suspicious. Everyone had the same sort of dream.
I'm not sure it was a spell because I don't truly sleep. I don't truly dream. And so magic that can do that shouldn't affect me. There's
I don't
seems
believe.
like it's more.
Yeah, I mean, having elven blood makes us like you. I mean, I can't be put to sleep, but it
Well,
didn't feel magical.
well, the trance is sort of a sleep, very light sleep, short one, but still, you are inert, half conscious.
Fully conscious, it's like pondering memories that aren't my own. But these were different.
Okay, the floor is checked out. Hey, Branches, do you feel anything weird around? Branches is outside on the cart.
Well, you might have brought him
Probably.
just to go to sleep.
Branch is currently unavailable to respond as I am having audio things.
Also, Shy Guy is here.
Hooray!
Welcome, Shy Guy.
Hey, Shy.
I'll be able to get to you in just a minute. But for now, I'm gonna let these four finish up what they're doing.
Sounds good.
Just gonna say that with me, it was like I said, familiar, not unlike a dream, except I could feel a lot of pain. Birds picking at you isn't fun. I've been shot with arrows.
Sosk feels
My-
very disrespected.
Hmm.
Punch our dreams next time, buddy. Just have to practice to remember that everything is a dream, and then you'll be half awake.
But it's remembering you're in the dream at the time. Oh, you mean
Practice.
everything.
Well, yeah, my master taught me that everything, like the universe, is basically a dream. We are always dreaming. So that's kind of a mind hack, a mind trick that helps me.
Hmm.
Doesn't work always, but worked it this time. And then you can punch your dream if you get mad at it.
Interesting.
Meanwhile,
Well, I
Callahan.
don't punch my dreams because I'm kind of a twig. But anyways,
Meanwhile, Callahan, you are you here, Shy Guy?
Hello.
Hello, welcome. I hope you enjoyed your little conference.
It was good.
Excellent. Callahan has succumbed to sleep, drifted off, faded into the night, and you find yourself sitting at the table of this inn, except there is no food around. There are no other people except for you and Count Strahd Vanzarovich. You seem to be playing dice with him and appear to be losing. He remarks, Callahan, you do not seem very good at this. Why do you play?
To win or to lose is only an outcome one always reaches. One does not know when playing. And I find myself hard to resist the game. Who knows what outcomes may arise with whatever symbols land up front? What outcome shall be arisen through chance or skill? One does not know until the answer lies in front of them.
So you chase answers then. And instead of a game of dice in front of you, it is now a chessboard. Strahd has just moved his black piece, his black pawn forward.
I move my white pawn. Why would the games count?
This is not my dream. It is yours. Why are you playing chess with me, I wonder? He moves his bishop out. Rookie mistake.
As I move my knight, I say, perhaps this is a way for me to see a visualization of myself testing my abilities against your own. For in all Barovia, you seem to be the one with all the power, whether that be political or some other dark machinations.
He moves his queen out of place.
It seems that you don't play by the rules either.
Why play by the rules when you can cheat?
The law is paramount, one that binds civilization together. Being a count, you should know this.
And yet I have moved my queen out of place. He picks it back up again and flicks your king into your face. Normally it wouldn't hurt, but this time you can feel the indentation on your forehead and you can feel your face getting flush.
Callahan gets up looks at the board, looks at Strahd, takes out his sword, which has just appeared by his side, and goes to strike down the table.
You go to strike down the table, and Strahd stands up with you and puts his hand out in front of your sword. Says, "No, don't do it." Do you follow through with your sword strike?
I do.
You cleave his arm from his body. And as it sails through the air, the blood flicks in a wonderful circle. And the feeling of accomplishment comes over you. The arm passes in front of your eyes. And you look again. And you see a young woman who you played many years ago, staring back at you in horror at what you've just done. You remember this woman. She tried to cheat you before. She said, "I was only trying to pay for my children's food. Why would you do this?"
What? I can. Why? This isn't right.
The blood spurts out from her stump and flecks you in the face. As it dribbles down, you see that it turns from blood to dice, back to blood again. She falls onto the
Callahan.
ground.
Callahan just falls on his knees and just looks in his hands and looks down, and then looks back up, trying to find method in this madness.
When you look back up, it is no longer the woman staring at you with cold, dead eyes. It is Strahd again. And he looks at you. And though it is very clearly a corpse, you could almost feel like there were a real set of eyes staring back at you. It sends a shiver down your spine.
I'm not getting out of this place alive, am I?
The dead face smiles wickedly, and you realize that it is your own face staring back at you. It says, "No. No, you probably won't. But this is a game of chance, and we all know that you're going to play." And you wake up. You notice that there's nobody else in the room with you. They all seem to be out in the corridor talking.
Callahan goes to put on his gear, don his armor, place his equipment in the right way, tightens his belt, and secures the pouch at his side, and then walks towards the door.
So you do? Oh, you're gonna get stuck in the wall there. Here. There you go. Callahan stumbles out of his room. Callahan, you see the rest of them standing there in the hallway.
How are you feeling?
Worse for wear. I hope I'm not the only one in such spirits.
No. Feels like we've all had terrible dreams and What's before the sunrise, if you call it that in this world? They're comparing.
Have you guys? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was mostly done.
Have you guys also heard a voice that might be suspiciously like Strahd?
I've heard more than a voice, I've seen his face.
Oh, mine didn't feature him like that, but I think he might have tried to figure out what we are doing here in our dreams. Like if we are doing anything suspicious, right?
And why would we be?
Speaking of which, about the zombie horse outside.
Valeria.
I,
Not
yeah,
zombie
I've
horse, Valeria.
yes,
Whatever
yes,
form he
Valerian.
takes, he is still my companion, and you shall not speak to him in that matter.
Yeah, I understand that you like your friend animal companion a lot, but I should probably tell you if can I roll if I know anything about resurrected animals or people like zombie stuff?
Yeah,
Check that.
yeah, you can do that for sure. Go ahead, make a. What are you trying? What exactly are you trying to discern here? What kind of question do you have?
If because I have branches and I have a telepathic link to it. I suspect that Strahd might use Valerian to spy on us by having some sort of telepathic link.
Yeah, I think it would be good for you to either make a nature check or an arcana check, whichever you prefer.
Okay, let me see. Nature. Yeah, it will be an arcana.
All right, go ahead and make that roll.
Doing it?
All right. You feel that the nature of how undead are brought back from death is not particularly the same as the way that you would summon branches. You feel
Since I'm sorry.
You feel that it's less that there is a connection between you and something else, and more that whatever vessel is being used for this is being pumped full of some sort of energy, and then it's almost tying a knot to the soul of whatever this thing used to be. You feel like maybe the reason why that soul might still be attached is because that this is a land where souls cannot escape, but generally you get the feeling that a soul probably doesn't need to even be in the equation if somebody's going to resurrect something like this. Given your extensive knowledge on death, they would just need the energy. And you get the feeling that this place has that kind of energy in spades.
Okay, so yeah, I haven't learned it yet how to resurrect the undead. I will someday. It is part of my path as a druid, but just in case, try to not. I'm afraid that maybe Strahd might have some sort of connection, like I have with branches. So try to not speak of anything suspicious around
I
him.
will do what I
Just in
will.
case. Just in
I-
case.
Callahan, use some sense. I know you love the horse, but that's not quite the horse you knew.
Hawthorne,
He's
with your
changing.
16, you do know that there exists quite a lot of magic which can connect some things to other things. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a horse. It could be an object. It could be another person. It could be anything. If you had the right kind of ingredients and time and effort, you could do a lot with that. Does that necessarily mean that the horse is an object or person that could have a connection to it? You're not sure. And you're not sure what the extent of that connection might be, if there is a connection. It could simply be that there's a connection that sustains the horse's animation, or it could be what you are dreading that it is, and that there is a much deeper connection between Strahd and this horse now.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like, I don't know the spell of how to do it. I just know, yeah, it might happen sometimes. I don't know. So let's be careful with this, because if we make this mistake once, it's all over.
I'm sure he would have more chances to do something of this regard.
Maybe in the future I'll be able to dissect this spell and understand how safe it is.
As you all are
Meanwhile, let's
speaking,
just be careful.
you hear the tramping of boots coming from the street. It doesn't feel like one pair of boots. It feels like 10 pairs of boots. And as the sound gradually grows louder, it becomes a lot
Branches,
more
what's
than that.
going on? I suspect that branches must be like lying under our cart.
Yeah, Branches has run inside at this point and conveys to you that it is fairly spooked. There are windows on this floor if you'd like to try to take a look outside yourself.
Yep. Guys, check the windows. Something's going on.
Is it that demon you were referring to?
You go and
No,
look
I hear
outside,
boots.
and you see many figures in a ghastly green. These figures seem to be trampling along the road. And some of them look familiar to you. Not in the sense that they personally are familiar, but in the sense that they all look similar to your party. Tens of ghostly figures clad in adventuring gear, robes, armor, shields, paddocks, horses, you name it, are trotting through the street, and soon tens become hundreds, all marching in single file out of the village of Barovia and towards the castle looming on the hill. As you watch, you wonder if the tide of people coming from what seems to be the church down the road will ever stop. There has to be thousands of individuals walking down this road. And you notice around 12:40 or so, you can see very faintly in the distance the first ghastly green figure throw itself down the tallest tower of Ravenloft. And 30 minutes later, the single final line finally stops, trickling out of the church. And you feel like this procession is going to last quite a while longer, as ghastly figures continually throw themselves down the tower of Ravenloft.
Guys,
Symbolism.
I can do something kind of risky.
I would not suggest so. What do you have in mind, Hawthorne?
I might turn Branches into a raven and ask him to tell me what's going on from the skies. I think it would be hard for him to be noticed. Like, how many ravens have you seen already?
Branch's raven form takes a form quite distinct from other ravens, given the magical nature of him himself. So He as a raven would very clearly stick out from other ravens. But
Oh,
you all
like-
can clearly see what's going on here. There's a procession of ghosts marching their way from the church's graveyard to the top tower of Ravenloft and throwing themselves over the edge.
I think Strahd is trying to intimidate us.
Perhaps it is not only that, but a curse of sorts. Whatever, Fenrin or Clintro, have you seen any of this in your travels or heard tales of this sort of ethereal procession?
I mean, stories of ghosts doing strange things are a dime a dozen, but
Nothing
This
like
Fenrir,
sitting.
Quintro, Hawthorne, you all are capable of casting spells. You know that if this was Strahd messing with you, he would be casting a spell of immense proportions.
Yeah, the range is huge.
There's no way that this is an illusion, and if it is, then Strahd is much more powerful than you think. This is not an illusion.
No,
Okay.
it's This
Let
night-
us just sit
Much-
down and let this pass before doing anything.
It seems to be coming from the church. Perhaps we should inspect where the source of this is from. I'd like to get to the bottom of this, and perhaps we can find someone who can at least tell us where our goal is.
Since it's the middle
Well,
of the night,
There's
yeah, I was gonna just say, well, I agree with you. Let's wait till morning.
yeah, if you
Wait,
if you
is-
haven't done anything physically exhaustive or exercious, if that's even a word, so you could go back to bed right now and finish your long rest. But if you elect to not go back to bed, then you will not gain the benefits of a long rest.
Callahan looks outside and realizes it's only
well,
the dead of night. He then decides to look at the others and just walk back to bed.
Halford is kind of an insomniac, so maybe has he had like enough sleep?
I think that if it's mechanically sound, then yes.
Yeah, so I think he has
Yeah.
had enough sleep. I think he'll just get a chair and observe this procession for
I was gonna
until
say-
the others wake up.
Finneran does a long rest in 4 hours. Did he manage to get his whole rest off?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah, then Finneran will keep an eye on things.
Well, if you guys are gonna stay up, I'm gonna get some more rest.
Saska's
You
gonna
need
get some sleep.
All
You got
right.
The 10 minutes of awake you get when you wake up for some reason, then you go back to sleep.
Yep. All right. You all go back to your beds, go to sleep, and you'll wake up in the morning with a long rest.
Have we maybe found some sort of detail by watching?
You
the
examine
procession
these
going on?
figures, and it's every single one of them is different. Each of them has a slightly different way that they appear to have died. Some of them have the stereotypical holes in the side of their neck, some of them long gashes, some of them ropes hanging about their necks. Others appear to have killed themselves. But every one of them is slightly different. Every one of them seems to have slight little characteristics and quirks to them. Some of them appear much stronger than other ones. Some of them much more craftier than other ones. But all of them are dead. You feel like if these apparitions do not have the souls of the people in them, they very clearly were modeled after somebody's very essence.
This can't be all coming from the same place. This place must be a lot older than I expected, and probably had people coming here from several planes or worlds, maybe. I think.
Yeah.
I just
Making that kind of assumption would not be out of place, because you notice that there are all kinds of races in this procession, from all kinds of different places. You notice there are even a few, like, from your studies, there are a few minor angels, few like middling tier devils, even.
Ren, since you've been around, let me ask you something very specific.
Yes.
If you probably wouldn't know that, but if, let's say, if a god exists, like I know you are like a plane traveler, right?
Yes.
Okay, then it makes sense. Let's say if you have a god that exists in a plane of existence and he's not present in other plane, is there any way to like make a connection to it? Open some sort of window so you can communicate with it? If I could get in touch with my god, Sylvanus, that might be the difference between us surviving or not.
It's possible. I mean, the gods, there are many in different spheres, different planes, and each one has places they affect and places they don't. Some are limited to a single plane. Some of the gods reach across all of the spheres. So it's hard to know until you try.
This is way over my head.
Eventually, the number of ghastly figures dwindles away into nothing.
As it's starting to dwindle, I would just, if I could, take 10 minutes to ritual cast Detect Magic and see if I pick anything else up by looking at them.
Yeah, go for it. When you cast Detect Magic, besides like small trickles of the type of energy usually cast by undead creatures, you realize that these things are not produced by some sort of magical effect. They are indeed apparitions.
With a vague hint of necromancy.
Yeah, big hint of necromancy, but not necromancy as in necromancy magic. There's something else there, and you can't really see it. It's just tickling at your mind. You feel an inference coming where you would normally see connections in the weave that aren't there, that should be there, that you feel like Detect Magic is not capable of seeing. But you're fairly confident that these are not illusions or anything of that nature.
Yes, some a power greater than mere spells.
The fuck?
Yeah.
What we're seeing is not just some show put on by Strahd or anyone else. It's more.
Have half is the tavern turning over?
Oh, like falling.
No.
Oh no! We spent too much time on the time that is overhang. It's falling out.
What are you talking about?
Aren't you guys hearing some sort of weird noise?
Oh, you had the
No.
ambient noise
Yeah,
on.
I would turn the ambient noises off. There are ambient noises associated with each of these.
Oh,
I would turn those
no.
off in your music controls.
No.
Or maybe your
it's
transformer is exploding again.
No, it's fine. I just figured out that I left a tab of Reddit on the browser open, and it suddenly started playing a sound of stuff crashing down.
Oh.
Interesting.
Uh,
And it was like,
Okay, I
hey,
can see
wait
why
a-
that freaked
why-
you out.
Wow, what a
Why
day
is-
you've been
why is-
having.
Why is nobody talking about this?
oh, and you thought it was part of the. That's great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fucking sleep deprivation.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah, the insomniac's starting to hallucinate.
Okay,
Oh, that's amazing.
never mind then. I
We need to get out now.
Hawthorne, maybe you should go back to bed. I'll keep an eye
It's
on
on fire. What? You don't hear the fire? What are you talking about?
I'm going back to bed. Anxiety is getting to me.
God, you ate too many of those bed bugs from the earlier scene.
Yeah, too much blood being drained from my brain. Okay, I'm gonna lie down.
All right, you go back to lie down in the bed.
Oh yeah, I should put myself back in there. Fell asleep in the hallway.
Yeah, you're like in the little like under staircase. In fact, there's a little like hangout for this small little space here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm hiding under there. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I just forgot to move my guy back.
Why would there be a handout of underneath the stairs? That's weird.
Oh,
What's
climb
a
one
handout?
wall.
I'm not implying anything.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sitting there.
I mean, Finran would kind of poke around. Nobody's watching. There might be something.
Yeah, and guess what? You find nothing.
Dang it! I have my rat fork and everything.
Finran's not above lifting a bottle of wine if he finds one.
Yeah, you don't find anything out there. So yeah, everybody goes back to bed except for Fenrir, who just chills outside in the hallway.
Yep, and just kind of keeps an eye on things. You know, somebody awake in case anything goes wrong. Let everybody else sleep.
Makes sense.
I asked Branches to keep an eye on the ground floor.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, he's a good boy. I tell him that he can come to to the room, grab a blanket if he wants.
It gives off the impression that it is fine, and that it does not
Okay.
like being called a good boy.
Hey, who doesn't like being called a good boy? Weird. We'll talk about this later. Okay. Should we just time skip till morning?
Yeah, it is now morning time, and you all wake up. Congratulations. Do you do anything before you leave this floor?
Well, Callahan's gonna go out, look out the window, and check.
It is daytime. There seem to
What
be
is
people.
that barricaded door?
The
What
barricaded
was that?
door is. Oh, actually, Fenrir.
Okay.
Early in the morning, before everybody else wakes up, you feel something unlatch, or you hear something unlatch above you. And
I would go take a look.
yeah, you peek up the stairs and you see 3 women in fairly colorful dress peering out, and they see you, and they very quickly pull their head back into the door, and you hear them whispering to themselves. They haven't shut the door yet.
Oh, my apologies, ladies. I was just keeping an eye out. There were some unusual things in the night. Please, you can come down if you need to. I'll kind of step back, inviting gestures.
They one of them peers at the door again and says, is the Lord Strahd done entertaining his guests? She kind of looks around a little nervously.
As far as I take your meaning, I believe he may be done. It was an interesting night, but it's been calm for an hour or two now.
Oh, well then, if you forgive us, we must prepare and summon Eric, and we will gladly be available to host you for breakfast very shortly in the morning.
Thank you,
And,
kindly.
and they all kind of like hustle out of the room and like nervously go past you and down the stairs.
I just flash a winning smile.
They do not look like they are trusting that smile.
Do I even get to roll persuasion or anything?
You can if you want. If you really want to try, you can. Whether or not it will be effective, roll at disadvantage,
22.
please. Roll again.
Disadvantage.
17.
17.
No.
Not even enough to make them calm down a little.
So you have disarmed them already. That is why they're leaving the room.
Okay, got it.
Yep. They are not in a place yet to calm down.
Got it.
Yeah. Sorry. Somebody else's reputation precedes you.
It's worth a shot. I got the expertise.
You do. All right. Yeah. They shuffle their way downstairs past you, and after a little while, you begin to smell the smells of cooking eggs and porridge.
Or
We were going
Yep.
back. What is out there when I was looking out the window? I believe you're saying something about people.
Yeah, there are people mulling about. Some of them are in. Actually, I think I might have something for this. If you give me just a second here. I might not this time around, but I might next time.
incidentally, Quintro would just do some light calisthenics for 5-10 minutes, whatever. Before
Sosk
gearing up.
runs downstairs for the eggs.
Yeah, you see some people milling about in rather drudging. That's not the right word. An interesting set of drapery. Some of them appear to be dressed in more drab colors, and others are a little bit more vibrant. But all of the clothes of the people mulling about are dirty and disheveled, and
Like past well worn.
yeah, like the kind of stuff that Goodwill wouldn't sell you.
So it seems
Threadbare.
like everybody like hunkers down when Strahd appears. That's why the town was so empty because he was out
Yeah.
of this castle.
You notice, though, that nobody is stepping foot anywhere near the Blood on the Vine Tavern right now. They are giving it a wide berth.
Can I go down to the?
Yeah, I think it's time for everybody to go on down. So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I will
Well,
throw us
I'm
over.
ready.
Give me just a moment.
Oh, so much better. I managed to turn some stuff off.
Oh, nice, good.
And the Forge website isn't lagging so much.
Those are the 37 Reddit tabs.
Yeah, geez. 37 Reddit tabs.
It's all these BitTorrents.
Believe me or not, this is like the first time I'm not having 1,000 tabs while playing. Because I never close any tabs. I'll come back to them later. Oh god, what is that?
Wait for it.
Sorry, what is what?
These tokens.
It's a
This
Marvel
isn't people.
They are
These are people. What are you talking about?
Yeah, if you scroll down, they're like jaundice. No. Oh god. Yeah.
What are you
Alright.
talking about?
Callahan just looks around and he nods
How
at the
How far it goes down the stairs and is like, oh god. And then he shuts up.
there
He
is
shuts up.
there is an individual sitting at the Barkeep's area. Actually, these people are over here. That is my bad. They are in another room.
The tokens are correct, right?
Yeah, these tokens are correct.
This looks like.
I mean, it's kind of what that guy looks like. This is just it's a generic commoner token because this guy's not like not a big deal.
generic commoner.
That is yes, it
when-
is.
when you're-
This is a generic commoner token. All of these people look a little bit crazy. Okay, put it in
Yeah,
your
the
brain.
base tokens are crazy.
Yeah, Put
Oh,
it in
yeah.
your brain.
you
All
don't-
these people are kind of like crazy looking.
He's got like a weird, really high collar that goes up his cheeks.
All of the
Yeah.
people in Barovia dress eccentrically like this, so you know.
I was looking at the token zoomed out, and it looked like some sort of coral humanoid monster.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
zoom in and you can see.
Very
Uh,
Lovecraftian.
Yeah, now I can see a face.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, there's a man, a pudgy little man, standing behind the bar. He appears to be mindlessly cleaning glasses, one after another.
Hello there, good sir. I'm Sir Callahan of Cornell. My party and I have just arrived last night, although I believe you've already been made aware of that.
Yes, would you like a drink?
Something to wake me up. Is there food, or do we have to go somewhere else?
The food will be ready soon, sir.
In that case, we'll have a herbal tea if you have any.
He slowly and lazily turns around to look at the cupboard behind him. Turns back and says, "Currently, sir, we have wine available."
Well,
You have a nice
wine's
sweet
good.
white for the morning.
Yeah, my master is it to say that wine is good for the heart.
Sosk Lazes come over and says, "Good morning.
How many
How many?"
how
believe it's
many
just 5 of
drinks would you
Oh,
like?
shit.
Start us with the bottle. We'll see where we go from there.
Sosk asks for some water and also asks about
My
von
apologies.
Strahd and says, "We were guests of von Strahd last night. How are things with you, barkeep?"
Oh, please, do not mention. Do not mention
Mention?
the devil's name in this establishment.
There's quite a way to call your count, although, based on my experience with him, I do not doubt your behavior in the slightest. In fact, I welcome your demeanor towards him.
He kind
Why
of
do you
like
call-
shies away and says, "Apologies, sir. We only have wine available." Looking at you,
Yes.
Sosk.
Yes. Start us with a bottle of a nice sweet white, if you would. I'll kind of reach for my coin purse.
Sosk asks, "Why do you call him the devil?"
He kind of
Yeah,
he
why-
kind of
why do you
shudders
think,
and
Sosk?
like gets smaller, if it's even possible for him.
Gentlemen, you
And
have no sense of tact. Can you not see that you're making the poor man uncomfortable?
he
Yeah,
he goes
I'm
back to the
sorry.
cupboard,
We're-
grabs a pitcher and pours a bottle of wine into the pitcher and sets it on the table in front of you, Fenrir, and says, "1 silver piece, please, sir."
I'll take care of the tab, don't worry. And he
No, quite all
takes
right.
out his coin
I'm-
pouch.
I'm sorry for that, Tavern Keeper. We are new to the region. We are not here to start any trouble. We are learning the local customs and rules. We're adventurers. Our job is to solve dangerous problems for people. Is this village having any sort of trouble with monsters, maybe criminals? Maybe perhaps there's a job board there that we can find bounties.
I am a simple man. I do not know of these things. He kind of meekly continues to polish glasses at the table. And from the side in the kitchen, a door opens and you smell the smell of cooking meats. And
Breakfast.
indeed, it is a breakfast time.
Piran
as
sets 2 silver on the bar as he brings the pitcher back to the table.
this lady comes
Ah.
out and
And-
says, "Oh no, Eric, no. These guests have been paid for this morning, so they will not need to pay.
No, it's quite all right.
Please, oh no, I very much insist. Please take your coin back."
Can't we
If you so insist.
give to this to you?
She begins to hand out plates in front of all of you who are sitting here.
Please at least tell
Does
me that our
the
patron gives
meat
you a nice tip.
sound-
One by one, guys.
Does the meat sound safe?
Sound?
I mean, it doesn't make sounds. It is an
Yeah,
object.
sorry. Yeah, it makes when
God damn.
when it flops over the the fish. Hopefully the meat is still it's still dead.
Yeah, it looks dead. It looks cooked. It looks like eggs and a few
great,
pieces
it's
of
not
like
moving.
bread. No, it's not moving.
Great. I don't know. Maybe it's a necromantic dish.
Yeah, it gets up. It gets up and it throws itself into your mouth. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm choking.
Yeah, you're choking now, and you're dead. Hawthorne is dead. Everybody.
Dead fishitis.
Thank you for setting out the meal. I'm Sir
Yes, of
Callahan.
course.
May I have it? What is your name?
One moment.
He's got fish bones in his throat.
I
My mama used to warn me about.
I am Lenka. It is a pleasure to host you here. I hope that you have enjoyed the establishment.
It has been a welcome respite from the outdoors.
Yes, very much
Yeah.
so.
We were just surprised by some sort of movement, parade outside.
Yes.
What's this about?
The procession happens every night at midnight. It is the Count's. Well, the Count's body count.
Oh,
Yes, that tracks.
and
Let
does
us
it
know
make
if-
any damage to the village?
I believe it's just an
Or-
example, Hawthorne. Please forgive my friend for such brass questions.
Yeah, you see her face kind of like pale a little bit and kind of go back to normal as she kind of settles down. She says, yes.
On a lighter note, we noticed there is a merchant's building on the other side of the inn. Are they usually open at this hour? We need to set provisions for the upcoming tasks ahead.
Yes, but, well, I should let you see when you go there. It would not be proper of me to speak ill of another establishment.
That kind of stuff.
Be-
Well, thank you very much.
Before you all leave, though, I must request something of you. Though I and my sisters are not normally in communication with the rest of our people, it has been implored to us that you should seek Madame Ava at the Sarah Pool down the road to the right of the crossroads as soon as you are able, or she wishes to impart some very important knowledge to you before you proceed on your adventure. If that is, of course, amenable to you. I believe that
course,
somebody has been sent to gather you up, so once you're done here, and have had the time to peruse a little, across the street, they may be available to do such a thing.
And
She looks
one
very
more
nervous right now.
Can I have those directions one more time?
Yes, down the road, at the crossroads, you'll take a right, and it will bring you straight to the camp.
Yeah, yes. Thank you very much. It's always unsettling for the town when new strangers arrive. But
She,
in this case, it may be more of a welcome respite.
yeah,
Thank you for the food.
she gives us a slight curtsy in her very intricate multicolored dress and scurries back into the kitchen, whereupon she closes the door. You notice that Eric here, the barkeep, has been polishing glasses, but he's started over from the beginning. And all the glasses are clean, but he is still polishing. He's polishing away.
Like that's just his program, huh?
His man needs a hobby.
People are strange sometimes.
Yeah, we can judge. We're odd too. We're an odd bunch. Well,
You
if
certainly are.
I don't think we need any sort of provisions as far as I remember. We can just go there. Think we shouldn't wait too long to visit this Madame Ava.
But are we sure? Does everyone have what they need?
Well, not only in provisions, but information. After all, we're here with a specific contract, and we must do our part in seeing what to do with it.
Well, now that we found out that the person we were supposed to help is dead, we should
No, not
probably. Yeah, I
Hawthorne.
know, I know.
One of the people. Yeah.
Yes.
That's saying out of character, right?
No, that was in character. That was totally in character.
What? Yeah,
Say-
off character, real quick. I just will keep the narrative that we are here to help the Burgermeister, and he's
He's
dead,
dead.
so we have no idea of what to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
We had
why
to
we
get
should
the
see the
job.
merchant just to see if we can ask for information and stuff.
Okay, let's go then. Doody doody do.
Doody doody doo.
How are people reacting to Valerian?
So, do you remember when I said that people were giving this place a wide berth?
Ah,
That is what I meant.
what a wonderful token for him.
And none of us have seen him yet.
No, none of you
No.
have seen him yet. But if you
We
walk
just know-
outside,
We just know that I'm trying. My mouse is being stupid.
For a moment, I see a crashed cart on the street, and oh god! And then I realize that it isn't ours.
Stupid tables or walls.
there you go.
I'm a special elf.
So you're
sure
aware,
are
Callahan.
special.
I would
Oh,
go
yeah.
into Valerian's sheet and take a quick look at his features.
Looks like a chalk drawing.
His features. Party item, no. Player, wild shape.
You should be able to
Okay.
double click his token too, and it should open up his character sheet.
Food, rations, tourist, fine clothes, bedroll, mess kit, tinderbox.
Right, it's going to be in the features tab, not the inventory.
Yep, I see that. It's in features. 2-person tent. The features tab, that's blank.
It should not be. 1 second. Let's bring you all out to the city map here really quick, and I will take a look at that.
Also, the branches token isn't here, but can I call him to follow me?
Yeah, he'll come and sit at the side of your.
Yeah, he just walks alongside me.
Oh no, it didn't save. It didn't save my effects. No, I'm so upset. Wait, did I put it on the wrong? There's no way I put it on the wrong thing, right? Okay, we'll get back to that later. He's supposed to have some cool stuff now, but yeah, I guess my edits did not save, sadly. Or did they? Regardless, there seems to be a carriage, and a nervous old man with a white goatee is sitting, staring expectantly at you. But I did see that some of you wanted to go and check out build drafts first.
Might as
Just to
well.
have a look at it.
All right, give me
Doesn't
half a
hurt to know
second
where we're
here.
buying supplies from.
Just a moment. Yeah, it's right on here. It's not on the sheet. Give me a moment.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to fix that later. Now is not the time. Let's throw you on all over to build drafts. The sign over the door is still creaking, and it still reads Build Drafts Mercantile.
Whether or not the mercantile is home, we'll find out.
Yeah, you walk in to the mercantile, and you are greeted by a rather common looking individual who is kind of drab, but does have a kind of sparse set of color about his shoulders. He looks bored and has wrinkles in his brow that seem like they've been there for quite a while. He wears his hair down to the sides and wears a messy, unkempt beard, and he looks at you all come in, and his eyes go a little bit wide as he says, "Welcome to Bill Drath's Mercantile."
Greetings. I'm Sir Callahan of Cornell. We are travelers to this region.
I'm Bill Drath Kentimere.
This is Bill Drath's Mercantile, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is what I just said. Yes, indeed.
Forgive me, it's been a perilous journey towards this.
Yes, yes, you all look like you come from outside.
Sosk would like to look around.
Yeah, you look around, and there are quite a lot of adventuring supplies in here. Pretty much anything in the adventuring gears table is in here. Anything lower than 25 gold pieces flat on in the little guide there, and some of it looks like it's in rather shoddy condition. You see rusted longswords, splintered pole arms, raggedy cloth, but like the food stuff provisions, some of the sacks have been torn and some of the grain has spilled out onto the floor. Things of that nature.
Sosk is going to roll a perception check to see if there's anything interesting that catches his eye.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception roll for me. Could you please do so not privately so that I can see the result?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Can I also make a perception check?
Sure, what are you specifically looking for?
Sosk.
Holy items in particular, things of faith.
Okay. No, there's so much junk in here. It's hard to parse out what's real and what's not real, or what is valuable and useful and not valuable and useful. And as you all are perusing around, he says, "So, are you looking to buy anything?"
No, we're just, well, for now, we're having a look. We're expected somewhere, but we just want to see the kind of establishments that you ran and what materials or supplies you had in store.
Right. Okay.
Sosk asked if... Sosk asked...
Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just going to ask Hawthorne. He did mention that he wanted... he asked somebody if they had a dagger. And hey, did you want to pick something up in case something gets a little closer to you?
Yeah, I don't really need it. I just need a knife to use as a tool. I have better options, actually.
Oh, a knife. All right, I can get you a knife. And he pulls out a knife from behind the counter.
Trying to be quiet, but...
And he says, "So, would you like this knife?"
Give me a good knife that I can use as a tool.
Yeah, he says,
Something that I could maybe skin an animal if I fell one.
He looks at it and like pokes the end of it with his finger and looks, and he's not bleeding, and he looks at it and he's like, this should do you if you just touch it up a little bit.
Can I guess if I can sharp this, it'll be a decent knife?
I mean, yeah, if you sharpen it, it'll work as a knife, yeah.
Yeah, so then, oh, okay, so since I'm gonna have to sharpen this myself, can give me a little discount.
No discounts.
Okay, no knife then.
All right,
There-
goodbye.
Is there anything magical here? Any magical
Detect
product?
magic would help with that.
If you wanted to discern whether or not there was a magic item in here, you would have to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, Fenrir's
I'm
gonna do that
gonna-
as a ritual. for
You're
when
gonna
game
you're
is.
gonna spend 10 minutes in this guy's shop casting a
I mean-
spell.
If they're poking around, I figure I can get away with it.
You're gonna have to make a sleight of hand check if you don't want this guy to notice that you're casting a spell, and it's gonna be fairly difficult because you're doing it right in front of him.
Can I just stay in front of him, like pretending that we are chatting with each other?
I would say that there is no room for you to possibly help him in this.
Okay, no problem.
Sosk asks if there's anything that. Ooh.
24 on the sleight of hand.
Yeah, as you all are kind of like browsing around here and talking to this dude who seems like he is not interested in the shit that is going on right here, as Hawthorne is trying to like barter with this dude for this knife, you notice, Fenrim, that there is nothing magical in this shop. Not a single piece of magic in this entire place. That little vial on the back shelf that looks like it's glowing green, not magical even.
It's just glow stick fluid.
I mean, basically, yeah.
Alchemical close.
You get the feeling that it's just like some green liquid that he put on the back of his shelf.
So Fenrir will just kind of, kind of be nodding and laughing as everyone
Alright.
else is looking for anything useful.
Now,
Sosk.
there's something that I might be interested in buying, if you don't mind.
He looks
Oh,
at
go
you and
ahead.
raises an eyebrow.
We're new to this town. I'd like information, like who to be careful of, who to respect, who might give adventurers a job.
Yeah,
kind of
well,
the
how much are
thing.
you gonna pay?
Well, depends. I show that I have like I show a couple of like 2 golden coins and show depends on how much you are helpful.
You can increase that by about 25 times.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I can just ask around and there will be no money for you.
That's right. You could.
Yep. I'll go outside, grab some pseudo sunlight.
All right, yeah. Hawthorne leaves without having made a purchase. The merchant
Some
here
helpful shopkeeper.
looks very nonplussed, and he looks at the rest of you and he's like, "So, are you gonna buy anything, or are you gonna get out of my shop?"
Sosk asks how much for the knife.
20 gold.
That's a lot. That's a very expensive for a knife.
And you are adventurous, so you have plenty of gold.
Sosk says, I am a lizard folk.
He rolls his eyes. He says, 20 gold, take it or leave it.
Sosk asks,
I
do you have anything cheaper?
He pulls out a little wooden thing from behind the desk and says, "You can have this for 2 gold."
Is it actually just a stick, or is there actually a blade in it?
It's a little like wooden dagger made of completely of wood.
It's like some kid carved it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Christ.
100% a kid carved this. It's not even sharp.
Sosk says, I'll think on it. I'll be back in a day or 2.
Okay.
All right.
Sosk
I've-
leaves.
Sosk asks, By the way, can we do anything for you while we adventure?
Thinks about it. It's just, you know, yeah, I think you could. Sorry, I'm like flipping between two voices because somebody said discount Dan's medieval emporium in the chat, and like it's messing with me. I'm trying to do the whole other thing.
Now only 25%
Yeah, yeah. Just so you know, you can get these daggers. You can get this pull arm. You know, whatever you want to have. I got it for you. You just gotta pay me. You gotta pay me money, and then I'll give you what you want. You want candles? You want some ink? You want a little bit of scroll work? You know, I got some scroll work for you. Discount Don's got everything that you need in his medieval emporium.
Make a discount Dan homebrew.
Discount
We will wait for next week so we can homebrew this.
I
decently.
guarantee
It'll be worth
that
it.
if you want to buy something from me, I will fucking take all of your money.
all your gold.
All of your gold, it's gonna be mine. Because I'm gonna spend it way better than you, because I am not a stupid adventurer.
And I don't accept Electrum. That currency is stupid.
I don't accept Electrum.
Actually, Electrum is all I accept.
That's better.
Well,
Yeah, he says, well, if you can retrieve a bundle, that I think is about a little bit south of. I guarantee.
retrieve what?
Sorry, I'm getting some feedback here.
Squid.
I was saying, yeah, so I have some people that have told me, oh god damn it, I'm doing it again. I have some people that have told me that one of my packages got lost down the River Ivlis. So if you can go downstream and find it, then bring it back to me. I'll give you a 20 gold discount on any one item you want.
We'll see if we come across it.
What's the package?
That's for me to know and for you to never find out.
What does it look
Did
like? Can we? We will never know what it is unless.
Listen, it's a package. It's leather. It's waterproof. It's somewhere downstream from the bridge. Get it for me.
Okay.
I'll give you some gold discount. Not gold, you get a discount in my store. That's it.
All right.
Do I hear this from the door?
Sure.
I want to roll insight to see if this guy is like sending us to our death.
All right, it's going to be at disadvantage because you can't see him talking. You're only listening.
Okay, no problem. So I have to roll twice, and and
I choose the
You
lowest.
pick
That is
the-
correct.
oh, okay. So insight, and first one isn't good, and the other one is worse.
You are paying attention to a child who seems to be skipping along in a dull purple dress. She is singing a nursery rhyme.
That will be the most fucked up.
It has
rhyme
captured.
ever.
It has captured all of your attention as she skips along. She sings, "Redhead Anna sitting on the stair, braid wedding flowers into your hair. Redhead Anna standing at the door, give a big kiss to the man you adore. Redhead Anna waiting on the wall, run to
This
the edge
could be
and
worse.
take a great fall. Redhead Anna stole away the sun. Redhead Anna lived to 21.
You know, if you pick any sort of children's rhyme and put it on a dark, gloomy background, it'll sound creepy anyway.
Wait a second. Redhead Anna stole away the sun. There are greater forces at work here than Strahd. Perhaps it is the colloquialism used for whatever deity inhabits Shadowfell.
Perhaps
Oh,
it's a
wait.
children's song.
Perhaps it's both.
You all say
Well,
this from
and you are
inside of the shop. Like all of you have stopped paying attention to this merchant and are just like all peering out the doorway, looking at this small child singing a nursery rhyme.
Nursery
Penryn.
rhymes are creepy, man.
Penryn, you are a study of lore, aren't you?
Well, I've picked up stuff, mostly military, but I don't think I've ever heard that song.
What I'm trying to get across is,
It's stuck in my
this.
head. That's what you mean.
Well, what I'm saying is, they're all stories are derived from a source.
Oh,
Perhaps
of course.
some are more fact and fiction.
Well, I'm not a specialist, but you guys know how mythology is. Most of our mythology is actually history from our gods.
Oh, the mythology.
Pointing
Yeah.
out, we
A
we
lot
should
of,
pay attention to it, but let's not assume too much. It's a children's rhyme.
Yeah, if
Maybe
none of
there's
you are
something
gonna
to
buy anything, can you get the fuck out of my shop?
We will look for your package, and we will come back soon. In the
Yeah, I'll
meantime, I have
believe it
other
when I
business
see it.
to attend to.
And it better be all in one piece. Okay? Okay. Goodbye.
Okay.
Man, movie?
I when they are all outside, I whisper to them, "Fuck this guy. I'm not gonna deliver him shit."
Sosk
Well-
mentions to the group that he can stay underwater for 15 minutes at a time without coming up for air.
Be
Interesting.
useful.
That's very useful.
It will be useful.
Well, hopefully,
Additionally, Sosk mentions to the group that he can swim as fast as he can walk or run.
do you want to go along? I think this is dangerous. I wouldn't mind surfing on your back if you don't
Sosk
mind.
just says that perhaps if you walk along the shore, he can swim along and look for the item
Oh,
if we ever go looking for it.
Well, it's
Oh.
not like we have any quests coming along.
Well, yes, we do. We have the carriage to go to the camp set by Miss Aya.
Ah, yes, but that's not a quest.
Well, no,
We
it's
She
a
can-
might
task.
have one for us.
We'll go
though.
and talk
Let's
to,
go there.
to the lady first, and then
You have to seem to have a fascination with quests, don't you, Hawthorne?
Yes, we're adventurers. Like our main goal objective here is dead, so we should probably get busy and try to get a living here.
That
Sosk
girl who
mentioned-
was singing the rhyme has been like trotting around in circles in the square, and she bumps into Valerian and looks up at him and like screams and starts bolting her way down the road. Everybody's looking your direction now.
Well,
Just keep
it's
going.
fair.
I don't suppose either you or anybody here knows any illusionary spells.
I'm afraid I don't.
Not yet.
I mean-
We might be able to cover his undead likeness with some
Bardic.
sort of horse armor or
Yeah.
what's it called? Like there's you guys
Bardic.
know those kind of horse clothes people use it to put on horses?
Yeah, you can
So
definitely find
Blinders?
those once you pay me $5 real world dollars.
Wow,
Sosk,
he can get out of the shop.
Sosk mentions that perhaps you could put a burlap sack over it.
Oh yeah. Which reminds me, I think that's. I mean, if we're in an area where the shopkeeper can't see us or hear us, we'd walk far enough away that we're generally alone.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you're walking to like the southwesterly side of this this little area where everybody
Wherever the
has
whole-
been.
Yeah,
Both of
we're
our
all-
leads point south, so yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
where the
that's-
carriage is, so I'm assuming
Yeah,
that you're
we're-
like kind of walking over that
Mhm.
direction.
As long as we're not near shot, I do remind at least Uncle Corvo or not. I'm sorry about that. Uncle that
problem.
we get, yeah, that we our primary concern is to figure out who this sack belongs to. I'd almost forgot about
Yeah.
that. until you mentioned the burlap, which would work weirdly enough.
Everybody in this square is
argue-
like still kind of like staring at you all, like
Well, yeah, because we're
Fenrin's gonna kind of whisper.
What sec?
Well, did you not understand that invitation from Madame Ava sounded like our presence was anticipated? So I have a feeling that may.
Well, I'm walking towards their camp. Let's go.
we could head that way. Yeah.
oh,
On the way back, we can check out where this package is, possibly.
Hop on
sir,
the carriage.
sir.
Yes.
We haven't even made it out of the town yet. Let's slow down, guys.
Yeah, there's a man sitting on top of this carriage that has two horses attached to it. And he's looking at the rest of you, and he's like, I am here to retrieve you.
Can we bring
On
our
behalf of
carriage
whom?
along?
On behalf of the madam, of course.
Oh, it isn't Eric, the guy from the breakfast.
No, Eric is still
This is a
inside.
different old guy.
Yeah, this is a different old guy. Yeah.
You mentioned an old guy, so I thought maybe.
Listen,
he was
I
doing-
even gave them different voices. What do you want from
Yeah,
me?
this guy's like old, the other guy's like tired.
Yes.
You did. I just thought for just a moment he was doing the old and wearing bear hats thing. Oh,
Yeah, no, he gets down from the carriage steps and opens the door and says, "If you would please."
Am I able to ride alongside you?
Yes, yes, master, of course.
Very well. What is your name?
I am Stanimir.
Stanimir.
Yes.
I'm Sir Callahan of Cornell, but no doubt, lady, I have already told you of all of our names.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. A pleasure indeed.
Alright,
Sosk says the word Sosk to him.
Yeah, he has his head bowed and has gestured into the carriage for those of you who will be
I
going
can
into
no
there.
problem.
Yeah.
I've got nothing else.
Well, I get on the carriage.
I guess I'll get on my mule cart and drive the mule forward
Oh yeah, that's
behind the
right.
carriage.
All right. As you all get ready to depart, I'm going to have to call for another quick little 5-minute break. And when we get back, we will begin our journey on the road to the Sayre Pool.
Sounds like a journey for more coffee.
Sounds like a journey for more coffee, indeed. Break time.
Mighty.
And we're back. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your short rest.
Have some tea, guys. It's good for you.
Your yerba mate.
This shit has so much caffeine. I not use it to it, so I actually drank too much yesterday and got a big buzz from it. Like, have you ever been high from caffeine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
the only
fun.
time I clean my garage or basement.
When you have ADHD, caffeine works in strange ways in your head. Like it makes you focused and calm somehow. I could actually explain why, but I don't think
Yeah.
this is the moment.
I get you. I'll have a cup before bed and then be like, "Yep, time for sleep."
Yeah, it helps actually because of how TDAH works.
Okay, y'all are crazy. We're gonna continue with the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah.
We're moving.
Focus, Corvo. Focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, focus. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Focus.
Yeah.
Okay, so those of you who have decided to get into the carriage, you do, and Callahan, you ride along the side. And it takes you about half the day to get where you need to go. You begin to slowly make your way down the road. You get to a river here that you assume is the River Ivlis. And as you're crossing, nothing happens.
Sweet.
Wasn't the package like flowing down the stream?
Yeah, it was.
Could we just follow the river on the carriage, or would that be too dangerous?
There is not really anything that the carriage could follow along the river.
It looks like a rocky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The vegetation must be too dense for that. No problem.
Yeah. You continue down the road until eventually you get to a crossroads. It's taken you a couple hours to get down here. It's quite a large distance away. One moment.
Do we happen to
Wow,
see whatever
your
that?
lady must be very interested in us to ask for you to fetch us from so far away.
Oh, this is not very far. Oh, that's a completely different voice. That's not very far from where you would be going, but in terms of Barovia, overall at least. And you come to a crossroads. As the scene loads, you see ahead of you a signpost, several rickety pieces of fence work, and between the two roads stands a set of gallows with a lone rope hanging from it. There are several ravens on the tree, perched, staring at you as you trod your way through.
I'm back. There was another explosion.
Welcome back.
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
What did it-
So this is you're currently at the crossroads. There's a gnarly tree with a bunch of ravens on it. There are two roads, one to the left, one to the right, and a set of gallows with a hangman's noose sitting on it. Your cart begins to drift along to the right fork in the road.
Glancing over at the gallows just out the window of the carriage, can I tell if it looks very recently used?
You take another look, and Fenrin, you see a body hanging from the gallows. This body is dressed rather eloquently with long, flowing hair. And upon closer inspection, you realize that the body hanging from the gallows looks a lot like you.
What do you mean a lot like you?
It looks like
Oh,
Fenrir.
that's a
Fenrir
trick.
is looking out the window of this carriage and he sees his body hanging from the hangman's noose.
Sosk would like to make a perception check as well.
Creepy.
Well, like, does anyone else see Fenrir? That has not been established.
No, nobody else sees Fenrir. It's just a set of gallows.
What are you looking at, Fenrir?
What I'm assuming is another one of Strahd's tricks. He's kind of blinks a few times pretty rapidly.
Yeah, the body's no longer there. It's just an empty old rope.
Sosk would like to make a perception check since he said it was a trick or whatever.
Sure, go for it. Yeah, there are quite a lot of ravens hanging out in that tree. You notice that one of them seems to have blue-tipped wings.
Sosk mentions that there are a lot of ravens out there, and one of them has blue-tipped wings.
He's
Perhaps
out loud.
that seems very off.
Maybe it's one
Intro.
more of Strahd's servants.
Sosk will speak with animals
Sure.
real quick. Actually, wait, I have to. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I'm just gonna say, hey, Blue Tip, come over here.
You say that, and suddenly the ravens in the trees scatter. All of them go flying off in different directions.
Boo. All right.
And you continue trundling your way along.
Miss Mr. Driver, what is in the other direction?
Oh, simply the road straight to either Ravenloft or Valaki.
What is the Lucky?
Valaki is the only major town in this area.
Oh, I see. And Castle Ravenloft is Strahd's, the Lord's castle, right?
Yeah, you say Strahd's name and he kind of cringes a little bit. And he says, yes, it is the Count's domain. Domicile, I should say.
No problem. Well, it's more than apparent that folks are very respectful of their lord.
How far is the Count's place from here?
A day's travel.
That place must be insanely dangerous.
I would not advise that you go there.
Sorry, I was switching from the phone to the PC. Okay,
Welcome back.
welcome back. Sorry for the nuisance with this.
No worries.
So anyways, we're going along the road.
In Dubes.
Is there any sort of interesting place that we could explore as adventures in the surroundings?
Oh, I'm sure there are several ruins around here, but this anywhere off the road is extremely dangerous, and even sometimes on the road it's dangerous. I would advise against it.
Well, I'm sure of this, but it's our job. Speaking of which, what's with all the ruins? Do you guys have some sort of ancient lost kingdom that used to be in Barovia?
Oh no, it is simply that the land has fallen into disrepair over time. We had much more people here, of course, one day. But that was a very long time ago, before my time even, quite a long time ago, so it has simply fallen into disrepair.
You
Do,
seem
do
to
you
be
know
doing.
any sort of myth from these times? We are curious about the origins of Barovia. This
Oh,
place is very mysterious to us.
well, Barovia was a land conquered by the Count long ago in his first life. It is the one that he decided to settle in and dedicate a foundation to his mother, his dear late departed mother.
And this was before his unfortunate demise with a group of adventurers.
I would not know of any group of adventurers that have given Lord Strahd a case of demise. No.
So you said it was his first life. How many lives has he had?
I would not know. The Count is very enigmatic.
Well, who would blame him? It's not like a pleasure. Must be an unpleasant subject to talk about. If we were to study the land and the lore of this land, who should we talk with?
Well, I'm sure that you'll meet plenty of people who are versed on various subjects in the area, but I wouldn't know exactly who you should talk to.
It's no problem, good sir. I'm sorry if we are giving you trouble.
Oh, no worries indeed. Don't worry. And as he finishes yawning, you begin to hear music in the distance.
What kind of music?
This kind. For those of you listening at home, you'll have to put that little description there into YouTube, and then you'll be able to listen to what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I
Hey,
highly
if I
suggest
now.
it.
Sorry.
Is there any way for me to turn the ambient sound off?
Yeah, just turn off ambience.
Yep. So you go to global volume controls, and then you'll go to ambient and turn that all the way down.
Found it. Found it. Now I can hear the music. Okay, that's cool.
Hearing it, Fenrir's just going to pull his flute out and kind of begin to play along with it.
Oh yeah, you do. And as the carriage pulls up on a small set of camps with various wagons, you join in to the music.
Sosk taps his
Well-
tail to the music.
Well, might as well. I just grab my hurdy from my bag and starts playing. I actually really like this music. I heard before.
Yeah. So the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evident of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of misted branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet or so in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near the tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several bright-clad figures amidst the sounds of drums around the bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge.
Oh, this is my people.
Yeah, and the fact that you're all singing along with them, it looks like several of them look your way and are smiling as you all begin to pile your way around this campfire and begin to dance and sing with these people.
Yep. We're going bopping.
It is time for Bob.
Bop. Bop a doo wop.
Hey, Sosk, Just curious, haven't you learned how to play a drum? We need a drummer for our band.
Having two bards is not a band.
Yeah, but we need a drummer. We can have a we can be a four people band.
So around this set of colorful camps are a set of even more colorful individuals wearing multi-patched colors of breeches, dresses, shirts, anything you can imagine, all around this fire here in the center. And once the music kind of dies down a little bit and everybody kind of settles in, one of them, with a bandana wrapped around his head and a short little beard coming out from his chin, begins to recount a tale. He says, all right, settle down now. I want to recount a tale from a year ago that shaped the very heavens themselves. A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. Who couldn't? His head shone like a giant egg. He stood exactly where you're standing, and he looks over at Hawthorne. And he says, a very charismatic man he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground. They were never seen again. But the wizard stood his ground. He and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft, over our heads, to a precipice overlooking the falls. Not a mile or two yonder. I saw that battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside. Great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the very heavens itself struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. Down the falls. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why, Virgil? Did you go and try to find him? And yes, of course I did. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body to see, well, you know, if he had anything of value. But the river Iblis had already spirited him away. Since then, every time the sky crackles with lightning, reminds me of that night. The night someone with great power tried to challenge the devil. Only got a bunch of innocent people killed.
You certainly have a tale for storytelling, Virgil.
Ah, well, thank you. It's our custom here to go around and share stories with each other.
Very good, very good. And that is quite the story. A bit depressing at the end, but quite the story.
Ah, well, you're in Barovia, sir. Practically everything that happens here has a little bit of depression added on to it.
Were you actually witness to this battle?
Of course I was. Otherwise, how can I tell the story?
Well, you know how stories are. Sometimes they're half truth. Sometimes we invent half of them. Sometimes they're just
Oh,
stories.
if you had only seen it. It rent the very sky asunder. It was raining
So-
fire and blood and brimstone.
So he made the lightning come up from the sky. Mayhaps he was a druid. If he was a wizard, he would probably make thunder comes out from his hands. But no, he brought
Well-
spells from nature. It's just a wild suspicion. But being a druid myself, I would love to know more about fellow
Well,
sage
it
explore
was
the
not
planet.
this wizard that cast lightning. Well,
It was
it was not the
not
wizard who
cast.
cast lightning in this way. It was the devil himself who cast lightning.
Okay. Well, in this
Can I-
case, I'm sure he's not a druid.
Can I kind of roll insight to see if this guy really was there?
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely, you can roll.
21?
No way, this guy was there.
Yeah, no, not at all. I know stories. Yeah, this is a story from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very very clearly is a story that this guy is telling from somebody else. Yeah. But he will deny it every single time. With the
Well,
21, you get the feeling that that's actually kind of a part of his culture. That a story is not a story is said so that everyone can have experienced that story as if they were there, and that stories are meant to evolve naturally over time and be shared in that manner.
Not too unlike my own. Interesting.
and
And he says,
well, Virgil,
I know that the madam has requested you, but as you have all partaken in song and of a story with us, I would like to invite the rest of you to share stories as well, or perhaps even purchase some goods that we have. And he pulls out a side of one of these wagons, and it drops, and it's got several very sparkling things in it. It's got many vials inside of a case of some sort of liquid, and he says, "Please, strangers, share with us a story." And everyone around is like, yeah, share a story.
Zosk would like to tell the story of Sosk and the Bullywugs. And perhaps you've already heard the story yourselves, dear Twitch viewers. But long ago, Sosk was a member of the Bluescale tribe. And the Bluescale tribe was not a large tribe, but it was Sosk's tribe. It was not the strongest tribe either. Bullywugs are known for destroying the habitat that they're in. They destroy the habitat of every area that's known. For a long time, the Bluescale tribe had been giving the Bullywugs tribute to stay away from the Bluescale tribe. However, they couldn't pay it this year. The Bullywugs attacked in the middle of the night and killed many of the lizard folk. The lizard folk could not win, but they fought what they could and then ran off into the night. The Sosk ran off and found a dead froghemoth, one of the Bullywug's monsters. He ate from the froghemoth and became a stronger adventurer. The end.
Several of them at the fire clap. Yeah.
that's why I say Sosk is the smartest one in our party. His brain is humongous.
Humongous. Several of these Vistani, as they introduce themselves, sort of motion you over to this open wagon and ask if you would like to peruse their goods.
Well,
May as well.
firstly,
here.
do
I'll be
you
interested in looking
do you
at.
guys have a simple, functional skinning knife?
Oh yes, of course we do. And one of the ladies pulls one out and says, "Quite sharp, well oiled. Yours, 2 gold."
Yep. Uh, Here you go. I, wait. Let's see what else you have. Do you have any sort of magical items, potions?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Yes, we do indeed have potions.
It a suggestion for the DM. The haggling and browsing part always takes a lot of game time.
We're
So
gonna play it out
maybe.
this time.
Oh, okay, but maybe you could like send us the inventory on Discord so we don't have to ask everything.
Yeah, right now they don't have a real static inventory. It's going to be based on the questions that y'all ask. So
Sosk is going
Okay.
to roll a perception check and see if anything catches his eye.
all right, what specifically is Sosk looking to find in this place?
Anything relating with lizard folk culture, or but nothing as far as armor.
All right, make a roll.
Oh, if you're looking for that, Sask, we can always ask people if they have.
I don't think
some
that Sosk
good bones
mentioned that
around.
that's what he's looking for.
Okay, sorry.
A 19.
Right.
Yes, you see, in fact, a large glass bottle near the back of this thing that looks like a sort of liquor. And inside is a lizard's tail.
Sosk asked about the lizard tail.
Oh, I hope that it's not something that offends.
Sosk doesn't mind. Sosk asks what it is.
That is a bottle of liqueur found in the deserts of Faerun. It was from specifically a lizard which sheds its tail to escape its prey. It makes
Wait.
quite a good fermented drink.
Sosk
Wait.
asks how much.
Oh, that. We had to travel quite far to get that. I would part with it for 10 gold.
Sosk pays 3 gold and says keep the change.
That's right. He doesn't understand he barely understands trading.
Oh, I would need 7 more of these in order to part with this item.
Sosk gives 7 gold, right?
7 more, yes.
Let's see if I have 7 gold. Yeah, Sosk gives 1 platinum piece and 7 gold.
Can I help Sask? I see.
But the lady will take it and will exchange 14 electrum pieces for you. And you now have 14. Mark the 1 platinum off of your sheet and add 14 electrum pieces. Do note that these electrum pieces have stamped into them the visage of Strahd von Zarovich in profile.
Discount
That's
Don
not
wasn't lying.
dreadful at all. You said this bottle was from Fredo. How did you get it?
Oh, well, it's good that you mention. See, we have these potions here that we brew that allow us to go through the mists.
Oh, dude,
Potions,
tell
huh?
me more.
Well, it's simple. You walk up to the borders of Barovia, you take the potion, and you walk through. You end up on the other side.
This sounds too good to be true.
Can I roll
I thought
for
nobody
comprehensive?
could.
You do notice that the wagon's contents do look like all of the items have come from outside of this area. Like there are some familiar items and craftsmanships, etc., etc.
If you're able to go to Faerun, why did you come back?
Oh, well, because this is our homeland, of course.
That's understandable.
I want to roll insight.
What are you trying to discern?
If she's bullshitting me,
On what piece?
like, uh, that the potion is real and that she actually wants to go back if they are able to travel to the outside.
Oh, okay, make your roll.
No, this sounds like bullshit. I clicked and
Yeah,
it's
you're
taking
you're
a
not
while.
sure, but you get the feeling that she's telling the truth about the second part at least.
Okay.
Yeah, this really is her home, and she really does come back here. Yeah.
You guys actually like living here?
Well,
Well,
of
it's not that
course.
they like it, it's
It's a
that
fascinating
they feel a certain
land,
bond to it.
And we are servants of the Count, as all of us are. It is only
Whether or
natural that
not-
we would want to come back.
Oh, so you have some sort of bond to him? Maybe a magical one? I'm sorry if I'm being too invasive.
I would
Trying to understand this.
I would move away from that line of questioning if that's all right.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, do you have any sort of useful potions? Healing one, maybe venoms.
Are you implying that the potions that she's trying to sell you are not useful? She takes offense.
Uh, uh, n- no, it's just a way of speaking. I mean, useful for adventures. So it's
We do
probably
have
stuff that
some healing
maybe someone-
potions, yes.
Do you have like venoms? Maybe something that would make people get knocked out or
Oh,
paralyzed?
no. As far as I understand it, the ingredients for such a thing are incredibly expensive. We wouldn't be
I
carrying anything of that sort here, no.
I don't know about potions too much yet, but it's no problem. Do you have any magical items?
Hmm.
Well, but what about those healing potions? How much do they cost?
50 gold apiece.
Bit much for me. Thank you, though.
Very well. This will be about the only place that you can find them. Just so you're aware.
Duly noted.
Like that other guy had him, he charges arm and a leg for him. Maybe not our arm.
Do
Maybe
do
not
you
our
have
leg.
any sort of magical kit?
What do you mean by this?
Uh, maybe a bag with magical supplies?
Oh, you mean like a component pouch?
Yeah, but for healing, in case my companions fall on something,
Oh, a
break their
healer's
leg,
kit.
or get
Yes, of
stabbed.
course we do.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and
How
go
much?
ahead and buy a dagger and buy a healer's kit off of the thing for the normal price.
Oh, the normal price. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm done.
All right, cool.
Just gonna end this.
Unless anybody else has something that they want to pick up really quick or want to pursue those mist potions, we
I
can
think
proceed.
we're good for now.
All right, they
All we
pack
need
up
to do now is see
the
the lady, right?
yeah, they
And
pick
then
up the
I'll-
wagon and they gesture you. They say, that you should go to the madam's tent, which is here near the shore.
Understood.
All right. Callahan's gonna nod to Virgil and the others and walk up to the tent.
Good. You walk up to the tent, and magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in black velvet. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last, you have arrived. good. I'm glad to see that you are here. I have much wisdom that I need to impart on you.
Good to be welcomed. Thank you. And why would you like to part with wisdom with us?
As she speaks, 5 cards float off the deck and land on the table in front of you all. And there
That
should
was
be music
cool.
playing, but
That was very cool.
That's a really fascinating spell.
There's some tinkling music. It was cool.
yeah, there should be
Yeah,
some actual music playing here, but it is not. I will simply have to link it all to you to watch on your own. Sorry, what?
Oh, mine was loading yet.
Don't worry. I'm gonna put this in our little Discord chat and also in the Twitch chat here for people to listen to.
Why the ending is so wild.
Jesus.
No cap.
that is a one kind of ad right there. Oh man. All right.
Things.
So Hawthorne had asked something before I got distracted.
What
Am I
kind of
right about
magic it was?
I asked her that I said that I was thankful for the welcoming, but why would she want to part wisdom to us?
Just simply put, I am your ally. You've come to this land to perform a certain task, but you are in grave danger. Grave danger indeed. You've come here to perform one task, but in reality you must perform another far greater task. So I am here to guide you.
What task is this?
These cards in front of you show your future. I have seen it, and I will relay it to you now. I will see past the mists again. You must find treasures that have been buried in this land and reunited. These treasures lie in parts of 3. Salvation's light, for thine and thee. Your fates entwined with that of the devil, this land's darkness against your metal. And as she's speaking, her orb is lighting up more. She says, all of the lights go out around you. And outside, it's almost as if the light from the sun, as dim as it is, isn't getting in. And the candles flare in multiple colors of light. She says,
Touch my master's mask
yeah. She
for
says,
safety.
false lights burn in the black of night. Ambers call for bestowal of lights. Path ahead, shrouded by mist, in tortures forgotten, surely wished. I will part the mists ahead, for without this, you're already dead. And the cards seem to levitate in the air in front of you, and she moves her hand over in a swirl of colors, flips it over, and you see the figure of a beggar on the card.
Does it look like the one we saw the day that we got trapped
Entered
here?
the tavern, the Osolele?
Yeah.
It looks like that. Should now be available to see. She says, this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. The binding of books, false lies, and fear, a story untold through the wounded ear of an elf fell victim to other lies and lives. The pages begin to reveal a boon only whence skins have fortune to peel from the backs of those who meddle with dreams and resurrect hope through dastardly deeds. But it is only through revival that the story will finish of tattered red robes and a marble varnish. She flings her hand the other way, and you can smell the smell of nature sifting through the tent. Nature and sulfur. flips over another card and reveals a maiden. A long sword. She says, "This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. The treasure lies in hands once clean and now corrupted. A head house of dragon's bones ground to dust and transmuted to silver rivers of blood. It drips into the housing of a circular symbol at the peak of a cliff, transcendent with power and radiating a cold, calculating light. The symbol falls deep, deep down, bubbling through sparkling water to the brackish darkness of a horrible, all-encompassing truth." And she flings her hand the other way. Her eyes have rolled back into her head and reveals a third card of a portly man with an interesting blue hat and a frock. It says, "This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. You will find what you seek amid supplication to powers unrivaled or powers revisited. A hilt lies tarnished midst the consequences of impudence, a grip in the vice of a demon's old habits, and the blade reforged through the will of one ignorant of curses and callousness." And suddenly the magical colors sifting around the room kind of die down and turn into little sparkling motes of light. And she says, "Now I must reveal what I have not yet seen before. These last two cards will reveal your fate. This one," and so the motes kind of coalesce around the bottom card and say, "It sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness." And she brings both her hands up, and the card flips over and reveals a man screaming, pointing at a broken mirror. She says, "Standing amidst the precipices of insanity and hubris, a man once regal has fallen to madness. He chants and he shivers amidst the rocks and bones, struggling to pick up his pieces. His might stands bound in the hands of meekness and misery, his focus drowned in his failures. And last, the most important card I have for you involves your enemy, a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to your final battle with him." And she goes to move these motes of color under it, but suddenly from the shadows of the room, mist comes and begins to snuff out the colors around this card. And as she turns it over, with the last vestiges of her strength, she says, "No! The mists! Those cards cannot see where the evil lurks. The mists obscure all." Ah! And as she's trying to say this light flickers in and out over this card, you can see its image shifting and shaking and changing with the mists that have come around from the room, that have curled over your backs, over your shoulders, like a cold companion. Seem to keep this card where it would be.
Wait, I didn't understand what happened to the last
So basically, the final card that will lead us to the battle of the head is obscured by mists, which seems to be the death of us. So it seems like Strahd, or whatever forces in the Shadowfell, are preventing us from seeing the most important aspect that will guide us towards the battle ahead.
The
I need you
ball
guys
in
to
front
know-
of you shatters in a million pieces. Each of you make a dex save.
Sorry, it just the song just finished and climaxed as soon as the mists came down. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. The ball shatters. Make a
I
dex
heard
save,
that. I'm
please.
sorry, I didn't mean to. I just thought it was cool as hell.
Everybody make a dexterity save.
Yes, that is correct.
The reflex is no longer a thing.
Oof, garbage.
Everybody who rolled under a 12, please make me a please make me a 2d6 check.
Oh Jesus!
The amount of damage that you take from the shards of glass exploding.
How much?
2d6.
No. Did I pass?
Yes, you passed. So
Okay.
so you will not take any damage from this.
It's gonna blow.
Alright, 17 health.
All right. So as this ball explodes and the lights kind of go back to normal, the candles which had previously seemed snuffed out return to their normal illumination. You see this figure sagging in her chair. She seems to have avoided the explosion of glass, and she says, "I am sorry. I have failed you."
No, you gave us a great portent.
We
You
will
must.
make do with what we have, and in recovering all these artifacts and allies, shall we come to our own conclusions? You have done a great help in setting us up this far.
Yes. I must
Blessed.
ask you. I have seen
Can
you
I-
in my dreams, but I have not met you.
Is she dying?
No, she's
she's
just
just out of breath.
exhausted. Yeah.
Oh, can I help her?
Yeah,
Well,
you can
medicine-
go over to the other side of the table and try to help her like sit up in her chair or something. Yeah.
I am a healer. Let me try to alleviate your exhaustion. And I roll healing to see if I know something that could help.
You get the feeling that she is exhausted mentally from the strain of whatever magic she was using to divine your portents. And
I see.
and she says, "Thank you, young man."
Can I offer her like a bundle of herbs that smells good, like a bunch of lavender?
Yeah, you move to offer that, and she says, "No, child, look over there. Grab that bowl."
I grabbed the bowl. She's
Yeah,
pointing to.
there are several like salts in the bowl and a few half charcoal herbs, and you bring it over, and she flicks her wrist, and the bowl catches the light, and very slowly the tent fills with several nice smelling salts and herbs.
Oh, good. I should try to learn what this is later.
I would teach you it later, but for now, I must know. There are things that you have come here for, but when it comes to Strahd, what are your intentions with him?
As of now, our intentions are simply to complete our task and leave with our lives and possibly our souls.
He will not let you do that. He will
Will he have
stand
a
in your
choice?
way.
Our employers are ones with considerable skills.
All your employees, they are not here, are they?
Yes, we are incapable to face him at the moment. But if he won't let us leave after completing our tasks, we will have to find some way to uh, bypass him or weaken him. Or
That's for
I
these
don't.
items here.
I
We're a
do
long way
not
from that,
think
John.
we will be able to solve this journey by just confronting him and beating him to a pulp.
I think that
Gentlemen,
is
I think
very
you're
wise of
many,
you.
many steps ahead of yourselves. You're many steps
Yes.
ahead of yourselves.
Well, she asked what are our intentions. My answer is I don't know. We do not know enough to have an intention other than
Yes.
complete our task and leave.
You're making a short list. I get it.
She kind of sags
But-
in her chair, and she says, "That is good enough.
what I can guarantee you is that we honestly do would like to make life better for these people if we can, if we are capable to, if we have the opportunity to.
She kind of looks around at everybody else and tries to get a gauge on whether or not everybody else kind of feels the same way. She
Quintro,
has many wrinkles in her face. She
Finran's-
seems to have lost quite a lot of teeth too. You can tell just by the way that she holds her mouth.
Yeah, Finran's kind of a half-hearted shrug, but a little bit of a, yeah, I mean, if we can, nod. Not gonna go out of his
Even
way,
if
but
even if you are not a good paladin, if you have the
What?
opportunity to do
I'm not a paladin.
some good. No, even if you are not a paladin, if you have the opportunity and you know that you won't die in the process, you might as well try.
S-
I mean, we'll see.
Anyways,
Go ahead.
these people on the cards, I suspect that they are actually people
Well,
on
hold on.
these
How did everyone else react first?
To what?
Oh,
To
Quintro.
her looking at us to try and see if we were serious about like helping people or not.
Right.
Well, Quintro would be kind of like the kind of the modern day the U.S. military, kind of like, we'll do what we can, sir, ma'am. You know, the friendly type, but not as puppy dogs and rainbows kind of thing, but more of a, it's our, it's my duty to help people kind of a thing.
I don't know
Callahan.
if it was apparent by the way that I was speaking. It's like I'll do what I can, but I'm not a saint.
Yeah, even at that
I
much, you're getting a shrug out of Finran.
Oh yeah, he's more
Yeah.
like Fenrir sounds more like it's if I don't have to go too far to my way and I'm heading that direction. But with Quintro, he's like, again, it's a solid. We'll do what we can. I'll do what I can.
Right.
Callahan crosses his arms and looks down, and then looks back up. I'll do what I can. I'm here to complete my task, but if I can't help, if I can help those who need it, I'll do what I can. But
She looks at
priority of
you,
this task.
Hawthorne, and looks at you, Callahan, and she reaches her hands out very slowly and holds them both in hers, and they're clammy, but they're not as cold as you would expect them to be from an elderly woman. And she looks into both of your eyes and she says, "That is all I could ask for. Just try to save them."
will
And
do
you
what
can't tell what she
mortals like
means
us
by
can.
them.
Help them.
She
Why?
nods and lets her hands slip from yours, and she goes back to sitting against her chair. It's only now that you notice that she is wearing fairly intricate clothing, probably the most intricate that you've seen in Barovia so far. She wears several gemstones about her neck and about her hands as well. They're dotted with rings of various sizes and colors. And she sits back in her chair and says, "I understand this is a quick introduction, but I am tired and you cannot stay here long, for the devil's sight falls upon any who linger. So I must ask you to leave. With the knowledge that I have given you, use it, let it guide you. And maybe in a couple of weeks return, and I will be able to part the mists for you. But for now, I must ask that you go."
We thank you
Okay.
for your assistance.
Thank you. We thank you for your assistance. Ask for us if you need help with something.
Yes, I apologize that I have not been able to share more about myself or my people. But it is time.
It's
And she very
it's fine.
weakly gives a shearing motion with her hands.
I go to the door, to the opening of the tent. I mean,
I'll put a reassuring hand on her shoulders before I leave.
Look at her. Look at the cards. Sort of brush off the glass shards off my armor here and there, and just make a mental note of what's to come and walk out.
All right. I'll walk back out to the camp, where all the festivities have died down quite a bit. And everybody seems to just kind of be in a dour mood now. Several of these people are wrestling horses who were spooked a little bit by the sounds of glass exploding. But generally, everybody is quiet now, going about their business.
Also, it can't be easy to find one of those things around here.
No, a couple of them brush by you and go and attend to the madam.
yes, she looks very tired. Before we go, I think those cards were actually people living in these lands. Maybe there was a priest. We could ask if there's some sort of temple, even a forsaken one in these lands.
Sosk would like to go and look by the river real quick.
Okay.
Do I recall there being a large temple or something when we were walking through town? I know we didn't get really a grand tour. Temple or church?
It's likely that we would be able to see it from a certain distance if it's actually like a temple.
Well, no, there was a church in the town.
That's why I was asking.
Where the assassin came
Oh.
from. And, if I'm not mistaken, going through the journal, where is it? One moment, everyone. The priest figure mentions a weapon of vengeance and a sword of sunlight. Found within the church, the scabbard tarnished with impotence, blade reforged in the hands of one ignorant of curses and calumnies. So, if we were looking for one of them, a holy place would be a good way to start.
That's what I was asking, if there was one. Or
Yeah,
if I-
that's where the perception came out.
I'm just going to roll for perception down by the river.
Okay, what are you trying to look for?
That thing that we're looking for down by the river. The leather.
Oh, the
package.
bag. You get the feeling that if that bag ended up at the side of the river here, it probably would have been taken.
We can go back to town by following the river.
Is that our first destination, though?
Well, since
I'm
we are
not
so
sure.
far down the hall, it may be prudent to look for this package before we return, so we can have a discount.
For those of you who
And-
were not able to fully follow the reading, I'm going to make available a journal for you to reference that has the
Oh,
words.
thank you. The non-native speaker lost a good part of the poetry there.
Do not worry.
A couple of things myself.
And I want to ask, the lady on the shop that looks nice?
Yeah, she kind of looks more dour now, but she looks at you and says,
Yeah.
"Yes, you're supposed to be
Uh,
leaving soon, right?"
Yes, I just need to figure out something. The lady told us about some sort of
madam.
priest. The madam, sorry. Some sort of priest that we should meet. Is there some sort of temple around here that has someone living in it? Maybe even a
Oh,
ruin?
no, I'll stop you there. No, when the madam gives her tarot readings, cards are symbols. They are representations of some of the visions that she channels. They are not literally what you should be seeking. They merely represent something that you should be seeking. I would listen closer to The words that the madam has said revolving the card than the card itself.
I believe what the card was referring to is a place of worship, or at least a holy place. The item
Yes.
in hand not being an item, a person, sort of summons.
But consider that a holy place can be very, very different than a temple.
Yes, but why not start with the obvious?
Yeah, this it has something to do with a holy place. Why not a temple?
Well, because
Why a temple? That's what I'm saying. You all make such bold assumptions. You see a priest on a card and you assume we're looking for a fat man wearing a religious icon.
no, we're looking for a religious place of worship.
Yes, but why do you think a place of worship looks like a temple? Are you that narrow-minded in your understanding of religion?
No, but
I'm merely going
There-
off assumptions.
there's an infinity of possibilities of what a holy place could be, but we can't like try every single option. So why not try the most obvious as
Why
the
don't we try to
first
gain more information before we go charging off, not knowing what the hell we're looking for?
I have a
How do you
suggestion.
propose we gain this? Yes, go ahead.
The lady next to the cart pulls out a bottle and steps between Fenrir and Callahan, and she says, "I have an excellent mushroom spiked vintage for the two of you, which might be able to mend some of the tension that I'm hearing in your voices. Only 5 gold." She looks
lady
back and forth
doesn't
between
lose a
you.
chance.
That's rather expensive for a vintage of such sorts.
With
I believe I'll
mushrooms
pass.
in it, that is the purpose.
It tempts me, but
What
I
kind
just
of
had wine
mushroom?
this morning.
She looks at you, Hawthorne, and she's like, "You know the kind."
Oh, the
The special
Okay.
mushrooms. Yes, special mushrooms.
Okay. 5 gold, huh? Okay, what sort of effects can we expect from this?
She hands you the bottle and she says, "I've already told you. Just you take this on the house. Make sure that they share a drink."
Okay,
And then she goes
okay.
back to her wagon.
Yeah, let's try not to start something. We can follow the road. I don't want to give the package to the shopkeeper because he's kind of an ass, but we can get whatever he was looking for. And maybe we can try this thing on camp. I can try to figure out how safe this is.
Camping nearby?
What time is it?
No, maybe on the tavern, maybe somewhere we deem safer.
It's mid-afternoon. You could get back to the village of Barovia before nightfall for certain.
Then it's fine. Let's go back to the village, and we
Agreed.
figure out things from there. Let's
Okay.
follow the river.
Do we not look for the package, or?
Well, that's why we're following the river.
Yep. Let's see what that guy wanted.
He wanted us to retrieve the package. That is what he wanted.
Is how now that we're standing here and we're actually looking at it, how deep and wide is this river?
It's pretty deep and wide.
What we can see.
It's quite a while to cross the river. I'd say it'd take you about 10 minutes just to cross. And you certainly couldn't get the horses through.
I'd assume that this package must be buoyant of sorts. Otherwise,
Yeah, he
fat chance
said it
finding
was
it.
waterproof, so it should
thing is-
probably float.
But if it doesn't, whatever ends up in a stream typically flows to a pool, and we are close to a pool.
We can check that out, and then if it's not too far away, and then we can return post haste.
One side of this bank.
All right. So I think that here is a good point to end off for the night. We can go to questions and talking with the chat for a little bit. But for now, we're going to end the session proper here.
Alrighty, good session, guys. Sorry I had to come in late.
No worries. I know that was a lot of roleplay, a lot of exposition, but if you're lucky, you'll get some combat next time. Oh yeah, danger, exciting,
Yeah, I can't wait.
horrible,
to
horrible
die.
danger.
Danger, darkness, dwarves.
Speaking of which, have you ever argued with someone so hard that a shopkeeper gave you drugs to go chill out?
It's just
Oh, yeah.
one.
It's just a little bit of a
that's what it-
snappy little argument. Don't worry about it.
Wait, take
Yeah.
this bottle instead, not the one I have. No.
The one with the special mushrooms. Have I said mushrooms enough for you to understand that there's something in the mushroom?
Well, the
Yeah.
Civil War, they used to make mushroom ketchup, and by ketchup, it was just a sauce. It wasn't the tomatoey thing you're used to.
Yeah, but still, that's pretty good. I hear that's pretty good.
Yeah, something similar. I got to try some.
See, it's not the tomato that matters in a ketchup. It's the vinegar. Vinegar is what makes a ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
And oh well, today was a good session.
Good. I'm glad that you
Thanks.
enjoyed it.
Well, we're getting some plot. We're getting some backstory out. And that actually makes it more. What's the word?
Yeah, you guys
invested.
have some primer to ignite some interesting motivations and role plays and all that fun stuff. I feel like I talked a
Yeah.
lot this session though. Ooh-wee.
There's a lot of exposition. You read a lot of the poetry and the box text, so to speak. So
The boxed text.
the box text must be packed so the players can understand the depth
You
of their
merely adopted the boxed text. I was born in it.
Molded by it.
Oh, I should play Quinterling Bane. You must get stabbed now.
God.
No, I won't do that.
Yeah, Whacker says there was a lot of dramatic reading, but it was all good. I'm not gonna lie, Whacker, I was looking on the side. Thank you. Yes, it is definitely time for a stretch.
I haven't done it since I got coffee earlier.
Stretch.
Whacker, you were saying some things in chat, and I was looking on the side, and I had to like keep my composure. That is a problem. Oh man.
I didn't know my leg had that many muscles in it.
I forgot how big my arms need to be stretched.
Oh,
Yeah, this whole the whole comment of this whole time I've been imagining like a 200-year-old looking Betty White with blue hair, chain smoking unfiltered cigs, giving this reading. That's pretty good.
Like that drugged out granny in Fallout 4.
Yeah, I forget her name. Madam something or another.
This god is the beggar. He's gonna beg for your money. Don't give him any. He'll be back next Thursday.
Listen, kid. I'm gonna give you your fortune, but I gotta get some drugs from you. Like you gotta smoke Granny up, okay?
Venture Brothers.
And all this fog of war in the map makes me want to just go out on a stroll and explore Barovia.
What's cool about this creator, who I will plug again, Beneos Battle Maps, they have a little thing in here that's supposed to be where your players can like run up to these little doors in the map and press on them, and it'll open it into one of the other scenes, which is super cool and interactive, but it like breaks a ton of stuff and it doesn't actually work right now. So the premise of this is you can go through like every different scene, every different battle map, and basically play it out as if you're playing a point and click adventure game, which is really, really cool.
That's super cool.
I did get that feeling when I tried to go in the hallway. It's like, you can't go out there. Wait, what? Oh, I gotta click the door? Oh! That was kind of an interesting
That
little
that was kind of cool. And whenever you are dreaming and you're having a nightmare, just remember yourself that real life is just a dream. And
Life
you
will be a
aware.
dream. Life will be a dream.
We're all living in this world.
That'd be kind of cool if we were
Say
living in a
we're not
Discworld.
gods of malevolent gods whose
You
fates are
just
rolled
have
by
to wake
dice.
up.
That's a
man.
different setting. That is Warhammer 40k.
That's a
Oh
different
no. Oh no, I want to go back. I want to go back to sleep.
Going back to that stats thing, You said Valerian is supposed to have
Yes,
features
I
on
need to
his
talk to you about Valerian's features really quickly because apparently they didn't save on the actual sheet, and I gotta figure out why that happened. But at least I captured the wording, and it's available on the tavern page. So we're gonna go back to that in game really quickly. You at home won't be able to see that, but I'm gonna throw everybody back there so that I can have Shy Guy pull up the actual stat block, which I will fix in a little bit. There it is. Bloodline Tavern, first floor, activate. Okay, so what I'm gonna need you to do, Shy, is I'm gonna need you to double click Valerian here.
He has been double clicked.
Okay, and then this should be the updated stat block. Do you see him having?
Loathsome limbs, bite, dark regeneration?
Yeah. Also, he has 30 hit points, blind sight to 60 feet, and a few lowered
Whoa.
attributes. And also a bunch of resistances, vulnerabilities, etc. He's a real zombie horse. Like, he's not just a reskinned zombie horse. He's a real zombie horse.
And he's got more.
Whenever the zombie takes at least 5 vaulting or slashing at one time, roll d20 to determine what else happens to it. A leg severed, an arm decapitated, all parts of it die, a severed leg is unable to attack, a speed of 5. Oh my god. And dark regeneration is when loathsome limbs will cause a limb to be removed, it maintains its place if the air is not removed.
Yeah, the main body maintains its place in the areas if the appendage was not removed. So if you lop off Valerian's head and 2 of its legs, it will still float in the air.
Duh.
If the HP recovered restores Valerian to the point at which it had lost a limb, that limb magically moves 30 feet towards the main body and reattaches itself. Damn.
Remind me not to sleep too close to Valerian if he's missing limbs.
Valerian's just gonna be like tied up to a hitch outside of camp, and y'all are gonna try to go to sleep, and it's gonna be that scene from the new Vampire Hunter text-to-speech show, and it's just gonna be like the horse looks at you and he's like, "Hello, puny mortal. How are you doing this evening?
How's the horse to
long
see?
for blood."
Oh, I figured out the name of the cloak that you can put on a horse.
What's it called?
It's called caparizon.
Oh, okay.
I'll type it out.
How has the horse received more character development than anybody in the party so far?
Well, none of you have died, so what do you want from me?
That's oh, that kind of, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you can just cover him with this and like rub
Comparison.
some lavender oil on it so he doesn't smell rotten.
Sure. Well, he doesn't smell rotten.
Yeah, just get one of those cloths from Die Count Dan, you know,
Well, yeah, I'll see if I can't get a 20 gold discount when we retrieve that package next session.
What do you mean he doesn't smell rotten?
He's
He's a zombie.
Right, but like as in
he's been
session.
preserved so that he only slightly smells like rot.
Oh, the smell of the grave.
Yeah, he smells more like preservatives now.
Ew.
He just smells like formaldehyde then. That's so marginally better.
Hello, Locodingo. Thank you for joining us. First time chatting in. I'm glad to see that our show was the first one that you decided to pop in on. Corn for the cornflakes.
Okay. Yeah, it's Strahd surely has a skull throne. I'm sure of this.
You can see his throne in the splash screen that we have up right now.
No, but this is the fancy one.
Oh, he's got one down.
The
Relax.
skull throne is the one he sits on when nobody's.
Yeah, he's just like, please bring out my skull throne. I'm in business now.
Made from all those poor adventurers that broke themselves off Strahd's
Yes,
tower
the
every
thousands and
single
thousands
night.
of adventurers who have thrown themselves off of Strahd's tower.
Now,
I gotta head out and eat, but this is a lot of fun.
I will see you all next week. It was a blast. We won't have any after session player feedback because I know y'all got places to be, and I know that you enjoyed my game quite a lot today.
Everybody clap.
Everybody clap for me.
I
But just to pick up on Discord. But anyways, yeah, everybody have a nice night. To those of you in chat, I hope to see you next week, and I also hope that you will spread the word and talk about our dastardly deeds, as these dastardly deeds are not done dirt cheap. So,
won't let it.
All right, take care, guys.
Yep. See
Next week.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Drink yerba mate. It's really good for you.
Like water.
And it doesn't taste gross.